Today is going to be a very, very hot day because of the topic I'm discussing. It's going to be a very long and complex discussion we're going to have. And I want to warn you people that this broadcast today is only for the people who are not partisan. If you are partisan, you might not like my talk today. If you are partisan, you'll probably be frustrated at me. So today is going to be a very serious discussion. But, you know, you've got to open your heart. That's my request. That if you really want to follow this program today, please open your heart. If you're already having your own preconceived ideas or preconceived, position, then you are going to feel a lot of pain here today. You might not like my talk today. Or if you're already under the influence of the Nigerian Christian church and of the Nigerian so-called Christianity, then it's going to be a very painful day for you, a long day for you. But if you are for the truth, if you are a lover of truth, if truth is more important to you than your own opinion or even your own religious bigotry or bigotry, if truth is more important, if truth is your best friend, then welcome to this live discussion. I bet you, I'm going to tell you, my team, I want to tell all of you today that today is going to be a day where we are going to have one of the smallest number of people. We might start with good number of people, but a lot of them will give up before the end of it. By the time we finish this, only the really circumspect and dedicated people will be left. Because we are going to be talking hard truth. Hard truth that might not be in line with some of our prejudices. So this topic today, I'm warning you, don't be, in a hurry. If you want to listen today, maybe you come back tomorrow. Maybe you not listen for today. Maybe you come back tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But if you want to listen today, you better open your heart. Don't have a preconceived notion before coming to listen to this one. Okay, let's see the topic. So this is the topic I'm going to be examining today. And actually, I am going to change the whole rule. After the videos, I will probably move over there. Yeah, so we'll have to move the light. So we'll need your help at things like that. So I want to warn everybody today that this teaching today is not going to be easy on anyone. It's going to be very painful, but if you are prejudiced and you're having some prejudice, you are going to find it very uncomfortable to listen to this teaching today. So this teaching today is only for people who, have opened their hearts for the truth, who want to hear the truth no matter how bitter it is. So if you have your own opinion already, or if you have your own preconceived opinion, or you have your own prejudice as a Christian prejudice, you might not want to stay for this program. This program is going to be an open talk among Christian people. But first of all, let us watch the videos, and then later on we'll come to the discussion. Okay, let's start with the videos. So I'm talking today about the herdsman. Let me go to the topic again. We are going to be discussing today the herdsmen's killing. The herdsmen's killings, my perspective. The herdsmen's killings, my perspectives. My perspective. And this is going to be bordering on 219 election. So the herdsmen's killing, the Berlin killing, or all other, the Benue killing and all other killings, my perspective. And my perspective at the 2019 election as well. So let's go and share. Let's go and share before we watch before we start. But if you're having your prejudice, if you don't want to know the truth, but you just want to, so I want to say, don't be in a hurry to stone me. Listen and take your time. Don't let emotion override you. Let truth be your compass. Okay, now we are going to see the video, some of the videos that I prepared for this. Okay, here we go.
I am anointed to announce. Anyone sent to Nigeria to fight, Nigeria shall be your graveyard. If you return back to your country alive, I am not of God. I don't carry up. Said in Jeremiah 22:29, oh earth, hear the word. We want the earth to hear. Command the earth and say from today, every stranger who came to this country, on assignment of destruction, and killing, in the name of Jesus, swallow them, bury them, now.
Welcome to Nigerian Christianity. But the man said, if they return to their countries alive, that is not a man of God. So let's declare right now that is not a man of God, because I'm going to find people who have already returned to their countries alive. Then let him declare himself that he's not a man of God. Okay, this is one. This is just one video. I'm not going to comment too much here. You already know what's going on by now. Let's do another one. I'm going to show the videos, then I'm going to begin to do the teachings after the videos. Yeah, here we go.
I want to speak to every one of you and to every Nigerian. And I want you to hear this in the next few minutes. Take this message everywhere. I don't want any one of you Nigerians to be deceived by anybody. This year is the year we must decide the fate of Nigeria. Nigeria cannot be ruled by the wickedness of a wicked leader. When the righteous reign, the people rejoice. When the wicked is in power, the people suffer. The killing that is going on in Nigeria, it shows the irresponsibility of the president called Buhari. And Buhari, returning back to that seat, we will fight it to a standstill. Every Nigerian, you must get your voter's card. Go and get your voter's card. We will not use AK-47. We will not use the weapons, but we will use our weapon. And this voter's card is our weapon. Hear me now. Hear me now. You must decide your fate. Don't allow wicked politicians, don't allow wicked men to decide your fate in Nigeria. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Our children will not continue to suffer. Graduates of our graduates, there is no future. How can your president we must decide that a new Nigeria must be born. A new Nigeria must come. I am challenging every Nigerian. Wake up, wake up, wake up from your sleep. It's not religion. It's not about party. Decide your fate. This time is over. You cannot wait on the military and the police. I am speaking to every village. Don't carry laws into your hand, but defend yourself. Defend yourself. Gather yourselves. It is better to fight and die than to die a coward. There is only one life. Fight the fight of faith. Defend your territory. Enough is enough. These terrorists, 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 Fulani headsmen. It is time to decide whether Nigeria is for Nigerians or Nigeria belongs to these terrorists, the Fulani. I challenge you, all of you, January and February, go and get your voters card. Go and get your voters card. You must remove governors that are not serving the interests of God. You must remove senators. You must remove members of the House. We must bring Nigeria, whether it's a Christian, whether it's a Muslim, we want the one that will serve the purpose of God. Enough is enough. God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigerians. Your time of weeping has come to an end. God will bring down the Goliaths. God will bring down the Goliaths. Arise, Nigeria. Arise. Don't be afraid of anyone. Defend your country. Nigeria is your nation. There is one life. This one life. If God does not take it, no devil can take your life. So don't be afraid. Defend your country and raise your banner. And I want to say to you, don't allow anybody buy you. Don't allow anybody buy you. We are more than enough to push evil. The time of revolution. Revolution. Revolution has come. Any president in Nigeria that does not believe that Nigeria needs to be restructured, restructure economy, restructure everything, that leader, you don't need him. You need a leader that will balance the equation in Nigeria. Arise, Nigerians, and defend your land. Let the children of God shout amen.
Okay, now, again, before I begin to comment all these videos, I want to warn everybody. If let me show you the topic again of this topic today. Topic. Herdsmen's killings, my perspective. Now, today, only people who are addicted to the truth will stand it today. Today, some of you will get mad at me. Today, some of you will hate me. Today, some of you will discover that, you will think that I am not who you think I am, because I am going to, my opinion might not fall in line at all with what you are thinking. Those two videos we have just seen, they are madness. They are madness. Either it's the one from the pastor Enenche or from this Buba pastor. Is craziness. It is pathetic. But what is even more crazy is that Nigerian Christians are celebrating these people and are sending these videos viral to go viral. The guy who told you not to fear, when the security people came to his office, to his church to arrest him, he cannot go to meet them up to now. He's hiding. So, and they say you shouldn't fear. This is the same talk that Ojukwu talked in the 60s, and when the people were dying, he ran away. This is the same kind of talk that Kanum Namdi talked in, last year, and when the people came to catch him, he ran away. So, but Nigerians are I understand Nigerians. We are in so much pain. We are in so much tragedy. We are in so much pain. We just want to follow anybody that comes. We just want to, receive anybody as a Messiah. But don't go after Messiah that don't use their brain. Don't go after Messiah that just use emotions to capture you. It's like Nigerians, the only thing a leader needs is to just do emotion. Anybody that can be emotional is already taken over by Nigerians. Nigerians, they are bought by, you don't even need to bring bag of rice. You only need to be emotional and be emotional and be shouting and screaming and talking nonsense. No matter how much nonsense, it's like the Nigerians remove their brain. Nobody thinks critically again. That's why I said, if you are not a lover of truth, don't remain on this platform. Oh, I let you go. Please go for free. Because I'm not even started talking now. I'm going to still watch. I want you to watch other videos before I begin to give analysis of what is happening. All these things are madness. It takes a blind person or a person that is blinded by his pain to celebrate this kind of people. It is crazy. Okay, let's see another one here.
This is the voice of an old man in the wilderness of Nigeria calling for justice. Mr. President, what happened in Benue State have shown more than ever before that in this country we live in perilous times. We live in times of vicissitude and vacillation. We live in times when justice is the most scarce commodity in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Before I conclude my contribution, Mr. President, I call on President Muhammad Buhari to ring the bell of justice. This is the voice of an old man in the wilderness of Nigeria calling for justice. Mr. President, what happened in Benue State have shown more than ever before that in this country we live in perilous times. We live in times of vicissitude and vacillation. We live in times when justice is the most scarce commodity in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Before I conclude my contribution, Mr. President, I call on President Muhammad Buhari to ring the bell of justice.
Okay, there is another one here. Look at it. For people who are not from Nigeria, who don't know who this person that is talking is, this person that is talking, he himself is a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, this is the typical Nigerian response. He's putting all the blame on somebody else, on the president, as if he doesn't have any responsibility before the country. Rubbish. Nonsense. And that's the kind of guy that people are celebrating. People are actually spreading his videos, say, oh, you know, he's bold, he's talking, he's calling on the president. Rubbish. Our people don't even have the mind to know, you know, that this guy is using these are populists. These are populistic actions. Anyway, why will I expect better when our people don't even know what is populism? This is populism. From the pastors to the politicians, everything they are doing is called populism. Okay, let's see another one here first.
Distinguished colleagues, I stand to support this motion, which is similar to what we discussed yesterday, and which seems to be a recurrent decimal in Nigeria. It seems to be that Nigeria is becoming a lawless country, a country with no rules and regulations, a country where laws are not adhered to, a country where there is no consequence for bad behavior. We either have a government or we don't. We either have security agencies or we don't. We either believe in the sanctity of life and property or we don't. These are the fundamental issues at stake today. Because every day,
you know, for those people who don't know who this one is, this is another opportunist here. He himself also is a senator. This guy that is talking here is also a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And talking as if he's a social critic. As if he's a media personality. He's not talking to himself. He's not asking himself, what have I done? What can I do? I am a senator. As a senator, what can I do? Somebody is saying Ojukwu fought a very just war. Well, let him fight a fight war now. Not be my people die. Now your people die. He's, you know, I fought the fourth war, just war, not just for war, but it's stupidity for a people to be dying when the leader is running away. So that is just war. Okay, go to another war and fight like that. So, and take another 1 million Igbo people to go and die. That is, you know, we have to use our mind. Okay, let's see another one here, please. No, that one is over. I'm going to, so, but like I said, don't be in a rush to put your, because you are putting your comments, and your comments, I'm forced to respond to your comments. But I still have a lot of things to talk about. So don't be in a hurry to judge or to put even your comments, because you are going to have a lot of opportunities to be mad. And if you are mad enough to insult in this place, you are going to be banned forever. And you are not just going to be banned for today, you are going to be banned perpetually. So you better control your emotions, because I know that emotions control Nigerians. But if you are going to be insultive today, you better go away and say bye-bye forever. Okay, let's go right now. There's another one coming here.
Progress has been made within the first 31 months of this administration. However, as was the case with previous administrations, the current government appears to be merely patching the cracks on the wall. This administration anchored its policy outlook on three main thrusts. 1, security. 2, job creation through diversification. And 3, anti-corruption. Yet, all around us are signs of retrogression. As of June 2015, the unemployment rate was 8.2% of our labor force of 74 million people, meaning that about 6 million Nigerians were unemployed in June 2015. By September 2017 last year, despite such efforts as Empower and a range of policies aimed at improving enterprise development and facilitating job creation, the employment rate had risen to 18.8% of labor force of 85.1 million people, indicating that between 2015 and 2017, the number of unemployed Nigerians rose from about 66 million to almost 16 million people. On diversification, despite ongoing efforts, reports indicate that oil continues to significantly dominate Nigeria's export revenue, leading to the shortfall in foreign currency in the first half of this administration. In essence, we have been unable to export much beyond crude.
Okay, finish.
Oil still accounts for.
Now, this is Pastor Bakare here. He is also blasting the government, the president. But all these things are all sheep. He's my friend. Pastor Bakare is my friend. So that you know that I'm not looking for sheep popularity here. So Pastor Bakare is my friend, and I'm saying that even what he is doing is a sheep popularity. But in his own case, I think he's the most honest out of them all. And in his own case, I think because he had come out to say, God told me to go and run for presidency. So for people who can put 1 and 1 together or 2 and 2 together, they could now know that, okay, Pastor Bakare is saying that because he wants to run. If he doesn't want to run, he will probably not say that at this particular time. But he's running, that's the truth. And people don't want to face the truth. If Pastor Bakare wants to tell the truth, he will tell you that it's because he wants to run, he wants to go against he wants to go and run for presidency. And when you want to run for presidency, that's what you do. So it's business, it is politics. But what is unfortunate for me is that most of our people, Nigerian people, cannot differentiate when politics is going on. And when it is sincere concern, all those speeches that we see, most of them are just political talk. Now, I don't believe that his own is political. No. An one is pure pain that is talking. And the other pastor also, I don't think his own is political. I think it's half political and half pain. But I'm going to, dissect all these things later on. But first of all, let us go into my opinion. Let us see what I'm going to show for you before I'm going to go and show you my notes here. Please, you people go and come and help me here. I'm going to move there to stand. You put the note on, or you put it on later. Put the note on while she's putting this. Put the note on so I want you to take time. Don't be in a hurry. I'm going to be. Is there any other one? Video? We still have a video? Yeah. Which one is that? Okay. Let's see one more video while I'm doing this. Yes. Please. No. Is it not?
The president
okay.
is asking the leaders and people of Benue State to exercise restraint over the New Year Day's killing by herdsmen. The President Muhammadu Buhari also appealed to them to accommodate their fellow countrymen while assuring them that all the perpetrators of violence in the state will be brought to justice.
He made this appeal when traditional and political leaders from Benue visited him at the villa to discuss the security situation in the state in the aftermath of the killings. The Benue delegation, led by Governor Samuel Ortom, includes the former Senate President David Mark, Minister of Agriculture Audu Obe, former Governor George Akume, and Senator Manwas Gimadi, among others. Governor Ortom also told the President that Benue State does not have land for proposed cattle colonies.
The President renewed his directive to the IG in our presence that those who are perpetuating this should be arrested and prosecuted. There are many options that are put on the table. Like I told you the last time I came here, I did not understood what colonies was. Today I was privileged to sit with him, and he did explain to me that a colony is about many ranches put in one place, restricted in one place, where the land is. So for us in Benue State, there is no 10 hectares. They are looking for 5,000 hectares. For us in Benue State, we have no 10 hectares to allow it for that kind of a thing to take place. So people are free. Other states have the land. We in Benue State do not have, and that was not led to us enacting this law.
Okay, guys. Today I'm going to do some teaching here. So we're going to put the teaching there. And like I said, don't be in a hurry. Only if you love the truth, you are needed on this platform today. If you don't love the truth, please, you are free to leave. Okay, can we see this? Is it clear enough? But things that are written must be seen, must be clear enough. This one is clear now, but later on, or you have to come closer. The way we used to do it before. Yeah, but you need to come closer, I guess. Okay. So, Herdsmen'S killings, my perspective. Okay. Make sure they can read it. You might need to come closer or widen this something there. You have to be saying definitely. Can they read it? Okay. So I vigorously campaigned, just for you people to know my position. You can't read it? It's not readable? It's okay now. Okay, good. I vigorously campaigned for President Buhari and Vice President Oshibanjo, which ended with me writing a trail of 56 articles between January and April 2015. So I was one of the people that campaigned for this government. I didn't just campaign, I worked rigorously for this government to be installed, to win. I don't know if my role played, if my actions or my efforts yielded any something, but I did. And I'm not denying it that I did, and I'm very proud that I did. But let's continue. Hello, let's okay, give me this then. Okay. I want to make it categorically clear that the statement I am making today is not because I want to defend or protect Buhari or Shibajo. However, I would like to make a political statement today. I want that. What is my political statement? I will not be campaigning for Buhari or Shibajo government to come in 2019. So next year, I am not on their camp. I'm not in their camp. I am not going to be campaigning for them. Now, what are the reasons? Is it because I think they perform badly? We'll see, yes. If I think that if I'm not campaigning for them, definitely I'm not satisfied. But, you know, we'll still keep on listening to what I'm saying. But I still don't take the position that a lot of people, a lot of Christians in Nigeria are taking. Yes, I'm not going to campaign for Buhari. I'm not going to campaign for Shibajo. I'm not going to campaign for their government for the next election. But that doesn't mean I have to allow myself to be brainwashed to the extent of being ruled by emotion, of being ruled by passion, rather than by sentiments, rather than by truth. So the fact that we don't agree with the government, or we are not even going to support a government, doesn't mean that we should allow ourselves to become victims of emotions. Okay. However, okay, right. I also want to say that I am yet to decide whom to support in the election. Maybe it will still be Buhari. I might still support him to be voted for, but I'm not going to campaign for him. Maybe it will still be Buhari if there is no better candidate. That is like to say vote for him, but not to campaign for him, right? I'm not even voting anyway. But if I'm going to have opportunity to vote, if he's going to be the best one, I will still vote for him. But I don't know. I'm still looking for the best person. So maybe it will still be Buhari. I don't know. Even though I will not campaign for him, no matter what. Even if he's going to be the only man standing that is going to be voted for, I will still not campaign for him. That one is categorical. Why am I saying I will not campaign for Buhari in the next election? Because I personally believe his and their government has underperformed. Their government has underperformed. I think they could have done better in the past 3 years, not 4 years, 3 years. In the 3 years that they have, the 3 years that they have done so far, 3 years. So despite my dissatisfaction with the Buhari government, I will still be objective enough to do my due diligence, and that is why I'm calling upon anybody that sees me as a leader, or as somebody that is worth listening to, or as somebody that is sensible enough. If you feel that I am worth anything, that I am worth listening to, then listen to me. Why I am saying all those videos I showed, especially of the pastors and the politicians, is rubbish. We Nigerians shouldn't be victim of all those kind of people. They are using you. And I'm so surprised that people who have been listening to me, people who have been on this platform, people who are even saying they are DSA family or Pastor Sunday disciples, they are falling into the ditch of being deceived by these sheep opportunistic people that are talking like that. I'm so shocked that the ability to analyze, critical thinking is still so much lacking, even in the most progressive of us. And that's why I want you to see my approach to this problem. And I want you to compare it to your own approach. But you will only see it if you're objective enough, if you love the truth enough. But if you are driven by emotions, go and join your people. That's what has brought Nigeria to where we are up to now. And go and be like them. Go and join your people, Nigerians, who are like that. But my own agenda is not to leave Nigerians the way they are. I'm going to keep on speaking the truth, even if everybody is going to leave me. Because the truth is principle and paramount at all times. The truth must always be the truth. And I am coming to Nigeria to change the mentality of Nigerians. If there is nothing to change, it means there is no need for me to come. But that's why I'm coming. Because there is a lot to change. Even in the people who think that they are already good. But there is still a lot of things to change. And one of them is what I'm going to be addressing today. So despite my dissatisfaction with Buhari government, I will still be objective enough. You see, even if your enemy is the one speaking the truth, be objective enough to admit it, that he's speaking the truth. Just like yesterday, I showed a pastor was talking about Nigeria, we need to pray for Nigeria for mercy or something like that. And that video, I said, I don't agree with the doctrine of the man. I will not recommend the man or commend the man or, or I'm sanctioned the man anyhow. I'm not agreeing with his doctrine, but he is speaking the truth right now, and we must acknowledge the truth that he's speaking. Just like the man in Port Harcourt too, that is doing some good work. I said I don't agree with his doctrine and what he's doing, but at least the fact that he's taking care of people, we must, we shouldn't just say somebody is either good or bad. We must be able to acknowledge some of the good things that these people have done. Now, I'm one of the greatest critics of people like Adeboye, Oyedepo or something, but I'm also one of the first one to tell you and to admit that they have done a great job in what they have done. In what they have done, in what they, in whatever result they've got, they've done a great job. Like yesterday when we had, I don't know if it's true or it's not true, that Bushiri was arrested. I was so sad that you asked my team members. They were even surprised. Why are you so sad like this? I was so sad and I was praying for him. Because the fact that I'm one of his greatest critics of that Bushiri, that doesn't still mean that I wish him evil. So I don't wish anybody evil, but we must always know to differentiate the truth from emotion, from sentiment, and from all other kind of questions like that. So despite my dissatisfaction with Buhari government, I will still be objective enough to do my due diligence in analyzing their achievements and failures and give credit to them where due. So what am I saying? I am going to analyze before I, now that I've taken this decision that I'm not going to support them, what is that based on? That is based on facts. That is based on analysis. And I'm going to show you the analysis that I did. I'm going to show you all the points, all the things. I have a list of all their achievements. Everything the Buhari government has ever done, I have it here. And I'm going to show them to you today. And I want you also to take care and take your time. Don't just follow the emotions. We know the things that he has done wrong. Also do your work to get to know what he has done right. And I see what he has done right. I got the list. I went through all the list. And I said, okay, now that these are the things he has done right, I have taken the decision that I will not support him. I will not campaign for him in this something that is coming. But at least I have a basis for it. So, what I'm talking about is that any decision we take, any speech we give, we must make sure that we have done enough research, that we have, we have looked for facts, that we are basing our emotions. Our emotions must only confirm facts. Emotion must never go before fact. Never send your emotions ahead of facts. Never send your emotions ahead of truth as well. Emotions should solidify truth. Emotions should confirm truth. Emotions should follow after facts. And that is what I want to teach people who regard me as a leader or as a voice to learn. Let us all learn. And all Nigerians must learn this as well. Not just to take decision because I'm Yoruba or I'm Igbo or I belong to a certain ethnic group. No, but facts. Okay, so here we go. Even though it is a huge tragedy that has happened in our country, especially with the Herdsmen'S killing, because they have killed not just in Benue State, they have been killing in Cross River State, I suppose. They have even gotten to my state. Then they have killed people in my state as well, Ogun State. I'm from Ogun State. They have been killing people in Ogun State as well. And they've even gone to Oyo State. So, that's a big tragedy, okay? But then, we must also make sure that when we weep, our tears don't blind our eyes. When we are pained, when we are in pain, we must make sure that the emotion of the pain doesn't cancel the ability of our minds. So even though this is a huge tragedy that has happened in our country with the Herdsmen'S killing, it is a pity Nigerians are responding in ways and manners that does not move a nation forward. Now, I'm not talking about the general people, ordinary people now. I am more concerned about the responses that are coming from the politicians, from the pastors, because they are not doing the right thing. They are exploiting the situation. They are exploiting the Benue killing. They are exploiting the herdsmen. They are exploiting the killing, the victims. The fact that they are they are not talking for the sake of the victims. They are actually talking to take advantage of the situation. That's what my people don't know. Even the pastors are talking to take advantage of the situation. And the politicians especially. But for Nigerians, because they are talking, just because they are talking, well, they are heroes. And that's exactly what people like Nnamdi Kanu did. Because he's talking, he's a hero. But he was taking advantage of the situation because he's an opportunist. And Nigeria is full of opportunists like that. And the problem is that it's like my people don't even know the definition of opportunist. As if they are not even aware that the difference. As if they are not aware of the difference. As if anybody that is talking about the evil that is going on must be a good person. And that is what I want to enlighten us about before about on the basis of how I took my decision, which might be able to help one or two people here in future. To those who think I might have something to say, and to those who wish to hear my opinion, I would like to say, if Nigeria must move forward, we must avoid these two main unhelpful reactions and pitfalls. There are two main pitfalls. Remember them, two. And I would like you to either write them down or go and watch this video later on and remember these things. Even if you hate me, you trust me that if you speak rubbish on this my platform, I'm going to block you and you are going to be off forever, okay? But even if you listen to this point, and even if you hate me, learn this lesson. Because these two lessons are two lessons that are plaguing Nigeria right now. Are the 2 points that are making Nigerians to respond like this. And if you find yourself in one of them, please make amends. It will make you a better person. So Nigerians must avoid these two main unhelpful reactions. Whenever anything happens in the country, those are reactions. There will always be a reaction. One reaction or the other. But 2 reactions must be avoided. And they are unhelpful, they are dangerous, and they are not needed. We need to understand as a nation what is called constructive reactions. Constructive reactions. Not just any kind of reaction or destructive reactions. So what are these 2 main unhelpful reactions and pitfalls that Nigerians afford to anytime there is a tragedy in the country that must be avoided? What are these 2 main reactions of Nigerians that must be avoided? Okay, that's what I want to show you today. The first one, first of which is the endemic attitude. It has become endemic. This attitude that I'm talking about, the first one here, has become endemic. It has become endemic attitude, the endemic attitude of empty talk. Empty talk. Empty talk. Whenever anything happens in the country, the whole nation seems to be clamoring for visible individuals to give speech. Can you believe it? How many times I have had, how many messages I've got about this Herdsmen'S situation. And I'm not in a hurry to always react. But when I react, I make sure that I react in a way that will give generational solution. Or that will give a lasting answer, a lasting constructive answer and solution. But everybody says, talk now, why are you not talking? Talk now, why are you not? What is the good in just talk? I don't want to be like them. That's what we see in Nigeria. We put on any video, any television station in Nigeria now. Everybody is talking. So what has their talk done? What has their talk resolved? What is the lasting solution their talk has brought about? That is one thing that our whole country must change. It's just like when, let me give you an example of this endemic attitude and behavior, reaction that we have. For example, Nigeria went to the Olympics in London and didn't get a medal, not a single medal. The whole country was talking. Every television station is talking. Newspaper is talking. Oh, what we must do? Everybody is giving this too bad. It's a disgrace. Yeah. That is what Nigerians like. No. We are ruled by emotions. But I have not given any speech about our Olympic performance. You know what happened? The next Olympic came in Brazil. We repeated the same woeful result. No single medal. The next one is coming to, it's going to be the same thing, because we don't know how to react constructively. No constructive response, no constructive reaction. We have not been taught to react like that. For example, any one of you who is living in the West, you will know, you will agree with me that whenever any tragedy like this happens, for example, in the UK, there was a time that a time they had Olympics. Where was that? Was in somewhere in Asia, I suppose. And the UK didn't get any gold medal. They sat down together, come up with a program that by the time they went to Beijing or somewhere, they were already one of the top ones. By the time they came to London, they were leading the shot almost. So what am I talking about? You know, that, and all of you, okay, all those hurricanes and all things that are happening in America, or in anywhere in the world, in the Western world, whenever any tragedy happens, the response is it comes in such a way that everybody is informed, everything is systematized, such that they learn so many lessons that either the thing will never be repeated again, or, you know, even if it's going to be repeated, it's going to be totally dealt with in another way. What is that? That is a systemic response. That is the response of thinking people. Now, people might say, hey, that is government now. That's why Buhari is at fault. Do you think they didn't kill herdsmen? I mean, herdsmen were not killing during Buhari. I mean, what the other one? Jonathan? Of course they were killing. They killed over 2,000 people during Jonathan, herdsmen. Nothing was done. So it's a national thing. And don't just say it's a government. It's not a government thing. This is a national thing. Nigerians don't know how to come up with structures, how to come up with systems, how to build systems that resolve and answers into a situation. For example, I have built a system and a structure to respond to our woeful Olympic performance. But why should I be talking about it now? Why should I present it now when I know I cannot? Because by the time I present it, I will do it. I'm not ready. I must leave here before I will be able to do that. So there is time for everything. But when I begin to talk about it, you will see the system that I will present. You will see the agenda. And you will see the result that will come. That's the kind of thing I understand. Like, for example, when this MMM was going on, when I came up with a systemic answer that everybody had to notice that, oh, something is happening here. Then even when the last election with Buhari was going on, that's why I came up with 56 articles. Between January and April, I wrote 56 articles because it's a system. It's not just emotions, give one speech, but Nigeria is used to people giving speech when things happen, when tragedies are going on, speech. And why that is dangerous is, we kind of think that since we have spoken, and then we are even comforting ourselves, oh, that is the only person who has spoken, he has become a hero. He's the only one who has spoken. Because he spoke, he has become a hero. No. We shouldn't be using speaking to judge that people have done. And then the one that has spoken, at least I have spoken. Nobody is speaking, I have spoken, so everything is resolved. No. We shouldn't be judging situation by how much response by speaking. There are other parameters to use to judge reactions of people when things happen. Speaking and just demonstrating emotion and hatred and anger like that, it shows weak. That's a weak reaction. Weak people do that. People who are weak mentally do that. People who are not informed do that. That is why we must raise up a new generation of Nigerians that will come up with informed attitude, informed response. So that is what I'm trying to introduce to Nigeria and to Nigerians. They like, they take it. They don't like, they don't make it, they will not take it. They will be, they will be the way they are. But I'm sure I'm going to have some response by the grace of God. So first of which is the endemic attitude of empty talk. You remember this word, empty talk. Nigerians are experts in empty talk. Empty. Whenever anything happens in the country, the whole nation seems to be clamoring for visible individuals to give speech or make a statement, as if a mere speech or talk does resolve the issues at hand. Hence, people come and make populistic statements. And those videos that I showed in the beginning, those are the examples of populistic statements. Populistic statements without backing it up with actions. Those are populistic statements. And it's like my people don't even know how to differentiate this. And people are rejoicing and sending it everywhere and saying, yes, that is better than silence. You know, I did a series also on the plague of silence. To talk, at least, is better than not to talk. But just to talk is too cheap. That is a weak response. You know, but even to talk is, as cheap as it is still better than to be silent. But the one that is worst of all is to talk, but talk using the situation for your own benefit, for your own advantage. That is what is called populistic. You are using the tragic situation to talk, but you are talking for yourself, for your own good, to build your own platform. That is worse than silence, and that is worse than talking and, you know, just talking. That is the worst of it. And that is what I see that our elite does. Our politicians do that all the time. They jump in the bandwagon and they begin to shout and talk and make statements. It is this unhealthy national demand that demand for somebody to speak. Speak. That demand, he's bold, he's a hero. That one is what satisfies Nigeria, not solution. It is not solution that we are concerned about, but just somebody speaking. So it is this unhealthy national demand that breeds people like Femi, Fani, Kayode. These are the populistic people we are talking about. They are populist. This is a populist. I think all Nigeria knows that this one is a populist anyway. You know, he's a populist. He's well educated. He speaks good British English. And so he's selling his English and using his English to build his political career. Talking anything, anyhow, on anything. He's a populist. Another one like that is Ayo Fayose. He's a populist. And it's like my people don't know the difference. People will be, you know, be praising him and thinking he's a hero. He's a populist. Someone like Ben Mure Bruce. Those are populists. They are building their political career on the tragedies that happen in the country. They are building their political career on your reactions. What are they doing concretely? Let them show me actions that they are doing concretely to resolve any issue that they are commenting upon. Reno Omokri. Why am I writing all these books? So that somebody will not say, you are criticizing all these people, why is your solution? That's why I'm writing books. So I'm doing all these daily broadcasts, correcting things in Nigerian church, and writing books how things are supposed to be done. I'm giving concrete solutions how things must be done. But these ones are not even complete solutions. This is just because I'm confined here in Ukraine. This is because I want to finish all my lawsuits here in Ukraine. I cannot come to Nigeria right now. But when I get on ground, then you will begin to see what is action and what is real response. But even while I am limited, while I'm in a tight situation, at least I still do some things that I can do. But these guys are opportunists. Ayo Fayose, Ben Mure Bruce, Reno Omokri, Dino Malai. These are politicians. They are building political career on the ignorance of our people. Dino Malai, Asari Dokumbo. They are... People shouldn't be listening to them. Because they are instigating you to go. There are people like these people will lead you to do things like Ojukwu led the Igbos to do, and the Nnamdi Kanu led his people to do too. You know, these are the kind of people like that. And you are not the one, they are not the ones that will die. It's not their children that will die or their family. It will be, ordinary people's children and family that will die. These people have built their political career on empty, propagandistic, opportunistic talks, feeding Nigerians with emptiness. But before I go into B, before I go into the second problem. So this is the first problem I want Nigerians to pay attention to. I want you people to avoid. Learn to dissect and know the difference between just giving that national need for somebody to just give speech. Be careful about them. Analyze what people are talking about. And if they are not giving you constructive solutions, way out. If they are just blaming somebody else, you know they are opportunistic. If they are just pointing accusing finger only and they are not giving us the way out, what to do, you know they are opportunistic. If they are not giving us facts and solutions and way out of the situation, you know they are opportunistic. So Nigerians should stop falling for this particular problem, for this particular weakness I'm talking about. It has become endemic. This is an endemic attitude. When the whole country is crying and clamoring for people just to speak, and people are just talking, they have become experts in talking. Let's abandon those people. I'm going to go and see some of the videos again. And the pastors are doing the same thing. Because, okay, any one of them that has spoken, even though that pastor say, okay, we are going to do this by election, but there are a lot of things that he has done wrong in that speech. Let's see some of the videos again before I go. One video, huh? Yeah, let's see the video first. Okay. No, just show you this one. Any one of those ones you are showing, maybe from the, maybe the pastor, maybe. Yeah, we can start from there.
To announce anyone sent to Nigeria, I am anointed to announce anyone sent to Nigeria to fight, Nigeria shall be a graveyard. If you return back to your country alive, I am not of God. I don't carry up. You see, the Bible said in Jeremiah 22, 29, oh, earth, hear the word. We want the earth to hear. Command the earth and say from today, every stranger who came to this country on assignment of destruction, killing, in the name of Jesus, swallow them, bury them,
Finish. Come to me. Stop. Just stop. Take that and stop. Yeah, please. Let's get the next one. Now, the solution that this pastor is proposing here is kill them, let them die. Okay, you killed the whole country, you are left alone. You are not left alone. You are left alone. Is that solution? Of course, that's not solution. That is at best, that is just emotion. That is wrong. That is ignorance. And he's now even saying that if they don't die, if anybody returns to their country safe, then he's not a man of God. So what about if we find some of them that return? It means he's going to withdraw himself, that they have no more man of God. Okay, I'm done. That's not a solution. That is just brewing anger, hatred. That is what it's doing. Not solution. Let's see another one here. So I'm sure some of you are asking, what is your own solution? That's why you are supposed to have watched my message on, was it Saturday? Last Saturday, I spoke on the Benue killing, And 2 days ago or so, 3 days ago, I spoke on the colony and the, the need to, how to address the situation. So go and watch my things I've spoken. But that is not even the thing. I've given solution in my books, in my writing. And if you want, what I want to do about this, I don't want to talk about, make a statement about the Benny killing, because I have a solution that I'm going to come up with. I'm not going to talk, I'm going to do it. And I spoke about it 2 days ago or 3 days ago, what I'm going to do about that one. Please, let's go here.
I want to speak to every one of you and to every Nigerian. And I want you to hear this in the next few minutes. Take this message everywhere. I don't want any one of you Nigerians to be deceived by anybody. This year is the year we must decide the fate of Nigeria. Nigeria cannot be ruled by the wickedness of a wicked leader.
Stop.
When the righteous reign, the people rejoice.
Okay, stop. You see, what is that? It's insinuating hatred. You don't, even Bible is against that, by the wickedness of a wicked leader. So that way you are making people to begin to suspect, okay, maybe what they are saying is true, that it is Buhari that is sending the people to go and kill. I mean, don't just insinuate. These are things that are not constructive. They don't bring answer, they're bringing hatred and anger. We are children of light. We are not children of darkness. It is the jihadists, Islamic jihadists that talk like this, not Christians. Go ahead.
A wicked leader. When the righteous reign, the people rejoice. When the wicked is in power, the people suffer.
Stop. You've got to substantiate your argument. Okay, why am I showing the video that I'm showing? Because I'm substantiating my argument. If he's wicked, Buhari himself is wicked. Okay, bring out the facts. Don't just make statements without confirming them. Okay, go ahead.
The killing that is going on in Nigeria, it shows the irresponsibility of the president called Buhari. And Buhari, returning back to that seat, we will fight it to a standstill. Every Nigerian, you must get your voter's card.
You see, when people tell you they will fight to a standstill, he's saying he's going to fight to a standstill, but he's talking about you and your children. He's not going to be there. He's going to maybe run away to somewhere, or he's going to be hiding. And the people who will be killed are the ordinary people. You see, these are opportunistic statements. Maybe to make some political gains, or he just doesn't know better. But emotion, that's what Nigerians like. But they are not constructive. Okay, go ahead.
Go and get your voter's cards. We will not use AK-47. We will not use the weapons. But we will use our weapon. And this voter's card is our weapon.
Okay, for example, he's saying, on one hand, he's saying we will not use a gun, AK-47, we will use our voter's card. But if that is what you want to do, you want to use your voter's card, it's not enough to be screaming and shouting. Sit down, form a system, create a system of winning elections. Sit down, create a system of mapping out the whole country and strategizing among Christians, and do an underground work that is already, before you come out already, you have already have maybe 5 million people or 10 million people that you have won to your side. Do a strategic work, not just shouting. Come up with a system. But this shouting only brings hatred. Go ahead, please.
Hear me now. You must decide your fate. Don't allow wicked politicians, don't allow wicked men to decide your fate in Nigeria. Enough is enough.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Those people we are calling wicked politicians will still decide it when we are not strategic. You will shout like this, he will still come and win again. If you are not strategic. Go ahead.
Enough. Our children will not continue to suffer. Graduates upon graduates, there is no future.
Stop. Okay, our children will not continue to suffer. Why should you even be depending on the government? I am coming to Nigeria, and I'm going to say the same thing, but not time yet. That our children will not continue to suffer, but I'm going to give you will see what I'm going to do. I'm not just going to go give plan. I have at least planned of what I'm planning to do for Nigeria. Go and check it if you are new. Go and check Nigerian transformation projects under Ideological. You will see what I'm doing already. Apart from writing books. To make Nigeria not to suffer. To deliver Nigeria and make Nigeria a great nation. I'm not on ground, but I will be on ground. And we will see it. You will not need to hear it. You will see it. So, but just talking, you know, why should you even put your hand in the hand of the politicians that they are the one to, that decides who I don't care for anybody who's going to be there, but I'm going to do by the grace of God what we're supposed to do.
How can your president, with the killing of a woman that is pregnant, innocent children, slaughtered?
You see what emotion is doing? It's now making it personal that the president's son had an accident. You know, he went to see his son. That is already, let's stop it. I think we should just continue. So these are the kind of things I'm talking about. But if we are going to show the politicians, the other ones, I don't even want to show them. The Bruce something and the other guy, the lawyer, you know, they are just opportunists. Outright opportunists. You could see say these people are just ignorant. They are just emotional. It's paining them. But those other politicians, they are in government. Why are they not doing anything about it? They say, no, it is Buhari that is to blame. Who are you fooling, guy? Let's go back to my note. I mean, I'm talking of this one. What was the name of this one again? Dino Malai. These are opportunists. What is the other one? They are member of parliament. You know, this other one too. These are opportunists. Don't take them serious. And don't let them mess up your mind. They have political agenda. Okay. Let's go to the note. So that was the first group of people, that first group of problem that we have issue with in Nigeria, endemic attitude. Our attitude must change in the area of just letting people make statement, you know, say something, and when people say something as if it's a hero already. No, saying something is not enough. We want strategies, we want plans, we want concrete solutions, not just talk. Empty talk will not solve the problem in Nigeria. Number two endemic problem that we have, reaction. When things happen, our number two endemic reaction is, in cases of national tragedies and problems, our elite in their reactions always come short of practical, pragmatic, calculated solutions. That's what I'm saying. The elite, either they are politicians or they are just ordinary people, they always come short. I've never seen anybody coming with concrete, practical, pragmatic solution, calculated solution. They always come short of, but they want to talk. But they are not coming with practical, pragmatic, calculated solutions. It is like we value noise, shouts, agitation, pandemonium than constructive, well thought out solutions. It is almost like political statements and agitations are enough to bring lasting solutions to practical, critical situations on ground. That's the way our people think. And that is why we must avoid. So those are the two things that we must avoid. Talking, or just, you know, doing agitations, demonstrations without demanding that somebody should do it. President Buhari should do it, or government should do it, as if we are not citizens. I am saying this so that you, who follow me at least, will examine yourselves to make sure that you don't fall into the same pitfalls of the regular Nigerian polity or regular Nigerian society. It is for this reason that I am going to present to you my thoughts and conclusions with empirical evidence. You see, before you react to anything, make sure that you have empirical evidence. Evidences that could be examined. I mean, facts that could be proven. Make sure you gather empirical evidence and informed research. Do your research and have empirical evidence. Now, I've just told you my decision that I'm not going to support Buhari in the next election. Now, on what is that based? I did my research, and I want to give you my material, the resources that I use, the whole collection of facts that I have. I want to give you, so that whenever anybody else comes up on stage and says, okay, that this one is better, you have to cross-check the record of that person with what Buhari has already done. If he cannot he has not performed better than Buhari, and he has not proven that he can perform better than Buhari, you must know the parameter to use. There must be a scale. And that's why I want to give you the research that I did, what Buhari government has done for all these 3 years, and my own conclusion about them. And then you can use that. I want to give you people, talk about them, so that you people can use that to now use it to judge all other presidential candidates that are coming. If he has never done anything serious, it's better for Buhari to remain. It's because, it's going to be we're going to be going through the cycle. Because Nigerians are very emotional. Just let him just go out. It doesn't matter who comes. That's what has got us to where we are today. If you just want to say, let's just vote him out, it doesn't matter who comes, then you don't care for the future, for your own future. You don't care for your own well-being. For us to be able to get a better person, we must be able to analyze. For example, the question of Benue killing and Herdsmen killing. You want to know my position? Let me just tell you a little bit about it. I personally think, apart from the solution, I'm coming with solution, but let me just give you an idea of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this Herdsman situation. First of all, we have to approach it 2 ways. Number one is to build ranches, to build colonies in all the 6 geopolitical centers in Nigeria. But if that doesn't help, I have a second solution, which I think is the most serious solution. I am studying Islam right now. And I'm studying what makes Islamic Muslim people to be aggressive and to be violent. I am doing my research, and by the time I come out with my findings, I already have the findings, but I'm waiting for the right time. It's not yet. I'll have to finish with the church before I start with the mosque. So I'm not yet ready yet. But when the time comes, I am going to address all Muslims in Nigeria, both the elite and the simple people, and then I'm going to do live broadcasts like this. By the time, what I know right now, what I already know from my research, what I already know, I don't see any reason why any Nigerian should remain a Muslim. And I'm going to prove it to them. And that ideology is what we should be talking about. But the way Nigerian churches are talking, they are talking about it, but they are talking about it with hatred. They are talking about it with anger. You don't do that. For example, somebody was born a Muslim, and I'm coming to him, I'm saying, you are terrorists, you are this. No, that is not, it's not going to work. The way I'm going to approach it is this. I'm going to approach it not with the knowledge and the discoveries I've made about Islam. I am going to try to convince as many Muslims that will listen to me that they don't have any business being in Islam. Just not because of my knowledge alone or my proofs alone, but we have to send love ahead. I mean, if I have my own religion and you are coming to me, you are saying, oh, you are a terrorist, or you must go about, you must leave your religion. That is insulting a little bit. The 2 weapons that I say that must be used to deliver Nigeria and Nigerians from the deception of Islam and terrorism is, number 1, humility. The weapon of humility. And number 2, the weapon of love. Before we use the weapon of argument. Let me say that again. The weapon of humility. I've got to find opportunity. That's why I cannot address this question until I'm on ground. I must find the opportunity to express my love to them, my humility to them, before I come with the argument why no Nigerian should be a Muslim. I'm going to reason with them, but before I reason with them, I'm going to come with humility, and I'm going to come with love. Then, if they will listen, let them listen. If they will not listen, make them not listen. But at least, just like I'm doing with the churches now, putting the information out there, I will gather all the facts and the information that I have. At least I will make them available for the rest of the world. And all Nigerians that want to go and listen. Why? So we must address this question of killings, the herdsmen, the Boko Haram. We must address them on the question, on the level of ideology. But when you want to address ideological problem, you don't do it just by making statement, political statement, making people to hate one another. If you don't send love ahead of your message, hatred and conflict will come. Nigerian Christians will be hating Muslims, and Muslims will be hating Christians. But if you don't send humility ahead, also people will think that you want to subjugate them. That's why those two weapons, love and humility, must go before any other argument, including the arguments that are of wisdom and of convictions and of that we have, that no Nigerian must be a Muslim. But again, like I said, there are two-side solutions, two-wing solution. One, we've got to give these Islamic people, these Muslim people, what they need, which is colony. We must give them the colony. We must give them in every geopolitical. We have 6 geopolitical centers. We must provide the colony and the ranches, so that, because that's the way it's done in modern 21st century world. We must build ranches or game reserves. Those are the only things that we could use to resolve this menace. This thing has been going on since the 60s or 50s even. But we must give it a lasting solution. But this is not even my own solution yet. I'm just talking so that, right now, just giving you an idea of where I'm coming from. But I have everything prepared concerning the ranches and the colony and the game reserves. I'm even going to go more than that. I'm getting ready, even the resources, to get the resources to do that. But don't let me talk too much. But I'm just saying, but apart from that, we must also approach it from ideological perspective. Okay. So it is for this reason that I am going to present to you my thoughts and conclusions with empirical evidence and informed research. So now, number 1, Herdsmen'S killing. What did I find out? I went to research what the federal, before I came to my own conclusion, I went to research what is the federal government doing. Because if you follow the social network and Facebook, you would think the federal government is not doing anything at all. In fact, you would think Buhari is not doing anything. But when I began to research it, I discovered that it's not that they don't. They have some answers that they are providing. They are reacting actually, but most of us don't know. But next time you hear people saying Buhari is not doing anything, at least you have this information in your hand. Either you believe it or you don't believe it, at least this is what they are doing. And then, let's see. It might not work, because I don't think it will work personally, because I think that before this any decision could work, it doesn't matter who is in government. There must be a situation of law and order in the country, and, and a lot of other structures that must be put in place before we'll be able to do that. But let's see, at least just presenting to you what the federal government has done so far. Okay. Sorry. But before I do that, I want to remind you of my decision earlier that I am not going to be campaigning for the Buhari administration for the 2019 elections. However, my commitment to truth and decision to always judge things by empirical evidence and informed research compels me to look into what the federal government has done so far in regards to this issue we are talking about. Now, number 1, what have they done? Number 1, Buhari has met with governor of Benue State on the matter, and he is the number 1 citizen of Benue State. And he is the one that owes the responsibility for the security of his people. So the fact that that meeting went is a good thing, to assure him of the federal government's commitment to protecting farmers and communities. But like I said, there's no guarantee that, no matter how determined the president is, just like Jonathan couldn't solve it, even this one might not be able to solve it, because we need structure, we need order before things like this could be resolved. President Buhari has directed the Inspector General of Police to relocate to Benue State so as to be on ground and monitor things. We'll see how much that will shake. That's a very positive move, by the way. That's the kind of thing they did during Boko Haram fight. On Monday, January 8, 2018, the Minister of Interior, Abdul Rahman Dambazo, convened a security meeting on the issue, bringing together the federal government and state government officials, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, and all the kind of heads of security agencies, and the governors of the most affected states, Adamawa, Benue, Kano, Nasarawa, and Taraba. But I saw that meeting. I personally saw that meeting, and that's one of the reasons I will not vote for Buhari. You know the way they are trying to present the issue? They are trying to present the issue as if it's a clash between the local communities and the herdsmen. What do you mean clash? You kidding me? How can it be a clash when people are living in their land, doing farming in their own land where they were born, in their villages, and herdsmen are coming from other places, and then you are saying it's a clash? If they had not come there in the first place, there would not be a clash. That's number one. Number two, the people who are dying, at least most, if it's a clash, it will be 50-50, but the people who are dying are not the Fulanis mainly. If it's Fulanis that are dying the same way the farmers are dying, okay, we could say it's 50-50. But you cannot say it's a community clash or it's a disagreement when only the community people are dying, only on defenseless women are dying, children are dying, farmers are dying in their villages, and the herdsmen are mainly people who have weapons and who have destructive weapons, who are killing people. So this is killing. This is not clash. That is rubbish, and it is something that must be condemned by Buhari himself, and he must say something to his minister to have said that, and for the government to be coming with that approach, that shows that they are trying to cover up something. But we know that, but our responses must still be constructive. On Wednesday, January 10, 2018, the IG held a stakeholders engagement with the Benue state government, elders, community, religious, and traditional leaders. This one I will not comment on this. This happened. Everybody spoke their mind, which is a good thing. I cannot express better than the Benue people. They did their best. They were there, so that's a good one. So we will not. It's not true to just come up and say the federal government is not doing anything at all. They are doing, but am I sure that the actions are going to give results? I personally am not, but I'm sure that it's going to give temporary result. But to give lasting result, there will be more fundamental approach to these things. Okay, but at least they are doing something. So we must see what they are doing before we could come up with our own solution. That's what I did. Okay, since the first week of January, immediately following the January 1st attack, the Inspector General of Police has deployed the following to the affected area. 10 units of PFF, Police Special Forces, Counterterrorism Unit. This is commendable. This is really commendable. This is commendable. Counterterrorism Unit, Conventional Policemen, Police Explosive Ordinary Department, EOD, Special Police Joint Intelligence and Investigation Teams, Police Area Surveillance Teams, Police Helicopters. This is really very good. So people who are saying that Buhari is not doing anything, no. We should have our facts. We should not just let emotions lead us. The Nigerian Army has deployed special forces to Benue, Taraba, and Nasarawa State. In Benue, but that, it's not only in those states they are killing, they go even to the north, to the south. That's why I am campaigning for colonies. That's why I'm campaigning for ranches. That's why I'm campaigning for game reservations. We must come up with that. Now, some Benue State said we don't have land, we cannot give. Beautiful. But let's find out which are the states that are ready to entertain these people or to receive them. Because everybody needs meat. All Nigerians eat meat. They eat meat in the south and in the Midwest, in the West, everywhere. So since you need the meat, you need the cows. In Benue State, 8 suspected herdsmen are in police custody over the recent killings. Not bad, but I think that people who killed people are more than 8. Why is, if they only apprehended only 8 people, that's very bad. That's very small. They have to find, they have to be having not 8 people in prison. Apprehended. 8 people is not, they should be having 800 of those herdsmen arrested all over the country. And the ones that I said they have been imported from other countries. They are currently being prosecuted. Okay, we'll see the result. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, okay, the head of this ministry is actually a citizen of Benue State himself. Ogbe, I think his name. So he's actually a citizen. So he's interested. He's part of Buhari's government. And it is his people they are killing. And I'm sure he's interested in resolving the thing. So what they have done is the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is working to establish cattle colonies. You see, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? Across the country in 2018. These colonies will provide grass and water for the cattle and education and healthcare facilities for herders. They will also have agro rangers deployed to secure the facilities. Yeah, that's the way it's done all over the world. The vice president, but this is the biggest decision so far. The vice president will head a 10-man committee to address herdsmen killing. So there's a committee they have set up. Maybe they will be able to, I don't know what they will come up with. Maybe they will come up with solutions. Let's wait and see. And they have put the vice president as the head, who is a Christian. So that's a good thing, but we have to wait for their result. So to now say that nobody does anything or something like that is also not right, okay? So my conclusion, I think that the nation is buried in incompetence, personally. That's my own conclusion. Because of, even though they might have tried to do something, all these things might be good, but the incompetence of the country must be addressed. When people are not doing their job. That is law and order right there. But it's not only about the herdsmen's killing, it's about everything. But especially in the area of law and order. As far as I am concerned, this crisis and herdsmen's attack should not have taken place in the first place. If we have government, as far as I'm concerned, we don't have government. Not just in the federal government, not in the local government, also in the state government. We don't have government in that country. Because government that cannot maintain law and order is not government. And that's why I'm not going to campaign for the Buhari government. I campaigned for Buhari because I thought Buhari is going to become like it was in 85. I thought it was going to be the same Buhari that we saw in 85. I also campaigned for him because I know that I met Jonathan twice. And from my own personal interaction with Jonathan, that is a dead case. If Jonathan was supposed to remain in authority in Nigeria, he would have killed that country totally. So I'm glad that at least we're able to remove Jonathan. But Buhari is underperforming. He's not doing what I put him there for personally, what I campaigned for him to be there for. He was supposed to be bringing order, law and order. That is why I campaigned for him, because that's what he did in 85. As far as I'm concerned, this crisis and herdsmen attack should not have taken place in the first place. The government should take responsibility for the inability to carry out their constitutional duties. Now, that is one part of the thing. That is one part of the discussion. The second thing I want to do today, this is for you, for the sake of those of you who respect me, who think I'm worth listening to, or I could give some wisdom. Now, some notable achievements of Buhari administration. Why am I doing this? Why do I want to give this? So that whenever anybody else comes on to say, okay, I will perform better than Buhari, even though I'm not going to vote for him and I'm not going to campaign for him, but you must have a criteria, you must have a benchmark by which to judge and to decide who to choose. And I'm spending hours and hours, weeks, to prepare these things for you people. I know I'm being abused. I know people are calling me names right now. I know the kind of comments that are coming. But I'm spending my life and hours day in, day out to get these things research done and get this ready. So that at least you'll be able to look and say, okay, this is what this guy has done though. Maybe it's better for him to remain, because if you just want to say, let him go for the sake of going, you will get another person that doesn't have the experience and doesn't have the structure in place and has to start all over again. And then, It will be perpetual change that will not lead the country anywhere. So let's see what the guy has done. Because right now, in the mind of most Nigerians, the basic attitude is Buhari has never done anything. He didn't do anything. So for you to know that he has done something, even though for me, what he has done is underperforming, is much more less than I expected, and like I said, the most important thing for me is law and order. And all these things he has done, some of them are good, but, and I'm not doing this sentimentally, you know, I'm not doing this that I'm not going to talk about his good things. No, I'm starting with their biggest achievements. I am talking about all their greatest results. But that still didn't convince me, because, but it's going to help me to decide who deserves, who will be able to do better. That's why I decided to show you people, so that it will help you too, to be able to use this to decide who could do better. Okay, here we go. I want to remind you of my decision earlier that I am not going to be campaigning. I'm repeating this because people are emotional. Our people are emotional and just, they could just say, oh, you should. I'm repeating it so that you know what I'm doing. I'm not going to be campaigning for Buhari administration in 2019. However, my commitment to truth and decision to always judge things by empirical evidence and informed research compels me to look into what the federal government has done so far in regards to this issue we are all talking about, the election I'm talking about. Okay, look at their results. Let's look at their results. Even if you don't want to believe it, just have it. It will help you to choose the next president. Nigerian stock market broke a record, going past 16 trillion. This is Bloomberg. This is Bloomberg. This is not just, hey, it's a lie. No, you cannot just say it's a lie. It is international. It is fact. Okay, 44 billion. This is the highest they've gone. 44 after recession. 44 billion US dollars. That is our national Nigerian stock market. So they put the right guy there, because the guy they put there now was one of the leaders of the New York Stock Exchange, and now he came back to Nigeria to head it. So they are doing a good job. That one we cannot deny. So first time in history, bringing Nigeria into the top list of the best performing stock exchange market in the world. What does that mean? It means that investment will be coming to the country. And CNN confirmed it. You can go and look for it yourself. Number two, Nigeria started a school feeding program, which now feeds 6 million kids a day. You are kidding me? 6 million kids? I'm not going to say rubbish. 1 million, even one person is better than nothing. But I'm sure they should be feeding not 6 million, 20 million kids. They should be feeding 20 million. This one is nothing compared to the amount of, and I saw a video that the quality of food they are giving is not, at least they are doing something. But it has not been done by previous government, but at least they are doing something. But that is nothing, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a pass mark yet. Even though I personally think this is a drop in the ocean. We need to be feeding at least 20 million children. But at least you must know what they are doing. Don't say they don't do anything. Nigeria is now world number 4 on cashew production. Thanks to this administration too, because they are moving away from oil. They are trying to move away from oil to do agriculture. So they got some Indians or so, either they are Indians or some I think that some foreigners. They built plants and industry in Nigeria now that is producing and exporting. So Nigeria now is number 4 in cashew production. But why am I not happy? That is not enough to make me happy. Why? This is not a bad effort in trying to find alternative foreign currency income in Nigeria. But my own thing is that we need to have such products at least in the hundreds. You know, one cashew. We want to replace the money coming in from oil. And only in cashew we can brag about. We have supposed to, can you imagine how many fruits, how many resources, how many vegetables, how many things that are in Nigeria? They should be packaged. We should have at least 100, a list of 100 produce like this that we are exporting. By the time we have 100 that are the leading in the world, of course we will not need oil again. Corruptions. So the appointment of Professor Isse Sagai, that one, nobody should say, I don't think anybody will say this is a bad one. This is one of the best guys in Nigeria, and that one is commendable. Even though he's in the Presidential Advisory Committee, he's speaking his mind, telling the truth, even criticizing the president. I mean, this is a good guy they got. Just like Rebado that time, but he just advised the committee the fund. So that's a good move. And as at October 2017, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the ICPC and others have recovered over 800 billion. They were not disclosing this for a long time. 800 billion naira they have recovered. I don't know how much that would be in dollars, but 800 billion is not bad. I think that's about maybe anyway, don't matter. So 800 billion, you can convert it if you want. This is the highest money recovery in the history of Nigeria, but that's still nothing. We know 800 billion. It should be $800 billion that has been recovered, not 800 billion naira. Over 200 people so far jailed in anti-corruption fight, including an ex-governor. 200 people, not bad, but I think the whole Nigeria is culprit in anti-corruption. Of course, you will not join the whole country, but we don't see the fight. This thing they are saying they are fighting, we don't see it. And people in Nigeria, I'm sure they will tell you that they don't see it, they don't feel it. Maybe in the beginning when they first came, yes, but they are even here from the report I'm getting from Nigeria that corruption is even more now. So that's nothing. That's a drop in the ocean. 15 senior judges arrested and under probe. Another first in the nation's history. Not bad, at least because they have to sanctify the judiciary. But is that enough? I'm not sure. Probe of military funds diverted during the Boko Haram fight. Over 20 generals arrested, detained, and tried. There has never been such a massive detention of military generals in Nigeria, except, at least, that was the problem, the mistake of Boko Haram during Jonathan's time. But, the Boko Haram, we have to give credit to the president and to the administration that they have done a good job with Boko Haram fight. But they have to rebuild at least. They have to rebuild. Several cases in international court, e.g., Diezani Madueke and accomplices currently under trial. But what is that? That is too small. We know the level of corruption in Nigeria. Okay. The chief judge of the federation has set up a special anti-corruption trial committee to fast track and monitor corruption cases. That we need resolved. Nigerians like processes. That's what they like. Talk. Many examples of improvement in government institutions. JAMB, we shouldn't deny these things. These things are real. They are true. JAMB generated 200 million naira in its 40-year history. Can you believe it? 200 million naira for 40 years. But in 2017 alone, because they got the right guy there, alone, it generated 8 billion naira. And because they were just corruption. So we should commend them for that. 8 billion and in 1 year alone, and in 40 years, 200 million. So we shouldn't just close our eyes and say, it's nothing. No, they got the right person there. But I have a strategy of how to get this kind of result from every parastatus. That's what I am talking about. When we put order in place, we should be having this kind of result everywhere. Everywhere, every department, every local government, every state. But they don't have a structure, a system to do that. And that's what we have to put in place. We have to maybe help them or what. So they got one guy that is doing this in JAMB. They call him Ishak Oloyede. So he's a good. These are the kind of guys we need. We need as many of them. We need thousands of them. So the Nigerian Customs Service and this custom too. These are for me. These are some of the greatest results that Buhari has recorded. The custom guy too is a great guy. Broke a record generating 1.1 trillion in 2017. This is the highest ever in the history of Nigeria. Its target for the year was 771 billion, but it generated 1.1 trillion. This is even more spectacular in a recession year. This is how Western countries are generating their money. Those people who don't have oil or anything, that is how they are generating their money. Custom have to bring a lot of money in, and they got the right guy there now, and we have to give honor to whom honor is due. They're doing well in that sense. This is the way to get out of oil dependency. The Nigerian Port Authority targeted a revenue of 16 billion in first quarter and generated 118 billion. Can you believe it? 16 billion was their target, they generated 118 billion. So I personally think that the people who are leading these ministries, Nigerians must know their names. The JAMB, the Nigerian Customs, and the Nigerian Port Authority, people who, all these people who are, these three people must be celebrated in Nigeria and be given national honors. You know, but Nigerians don't even know them. And people will say, nothing is happening. These kind of people must be trusted to take the country forward. Those are the kind of people we need. So the single treasury account has seen hundreds of government bank accounts closed, saving billions, and forestalling fraud. So far, the TSA has collected trillions of naira. Now, that's a good introduction, by the way, by the ministry. Everybody is criticizing that lady, Minister of Finance, but she came up with this idea. Beautiful. Maybe she's not the one who came up with it, but she implemented it. Signing of anti-corruption agreement with United Arab Emirates, opening the door to retrieving billions stashed in the country. In that OAU, Arab Emirates, we have Nigerians have money there, all stolen that money from Nigeria, but we have not seen it. We want the result, not just signing. This thing has been signed for 2 years now, and we are still waiting for the result. So that's why I'm not going to support Buhari, because I need result. Over 400,000 ghost workers eliminated from federal government payroll. That's not bad, but I think they are maybe 10 times more than that. Launching of a whistleblowing program which has led to the recovery of tens of millions. I think this is one of the most brilliant initiatives that they have done, because all those things they have recovered because of the whistleblowing people. So we must commend some of the things they have done. 13, federal government efficiency unit set up. Okay, savings Nigeria of 1 billion naira from reduction of sitting allowances, cutting out surveillance, and saving 1 billion. But these are nothing, because all our oil money is going to this to running the government, and we're only saving 1 billion. Savings of 15 billion from savings from travel expenditures, 15 billion. Oh, not bad. So we must say that at least they are doing some things right. They are getting some things right. But maybe we are not satisfied with the amount, but at least they are doing something. 1 billion saved from reduction of meals and refreshment. They are saving 15 billion per month from clean up payrolls. Can you imagine? These are the things they are paying for people just cleaning. 15 billion they saved. The president no longer gets involved in procurement and awarding of contracts. This is very important. Before, Jonathan was just awarding contracts left, right, and center. It has to be a system. Not president should be doing that. It has to be a system. Security. Global Terrorism Index published Nigeria as the most improved country with over 80% decline in terrorism-related incidents. Now, I think this was before the latest Benue Herdsmen'S. This is international figure, but I think these people are giving something before the Herdsmen'S attack. And they are giving Nigeria this credit only thanks to Boko Haram's reduction. But apart from Boko Haram, we still have other issues. Relative peace returned to Northeast. Schools reopened after over 4 years. Many Chibok girls recovered, but not all. Federal highways reopened after many years. Bono Airport reopened after many years. Zanzibar Forest largely captured. But we want our country back. That's why we elected you. All these are good, but these are still, these are nothing compared to the way Nigeria was. That place was in peace before, and people were living normally. That's what we want back. Calm return to Niger Delta region. Maybe, I will not say to the end. I just think that they're just giving those people money, and those people are just, taking federal government's money. I think we need some alternative solution to those militancy situations. Military carrying out operations in states to reduce incidents of rustling, herdsmen, terrorists, but it has not been reduced. 31 military carrying out operation in 31 states. Well, I'm not seeing the operation in 31 states. I see the operation in the east only with Nnamdi Kanu, and but with, maybe in the south a little bit. But we want them to do the same thing they did in the east and in south all over Nigeria, especially in the north and in the middle belt states. So those are some of the reasons why I am not giving Buhari a pass mark. Nigeria's Nigeria's biggest kidnapper, Evans arrested. US agreeing to sell military jets to Nigeria. This against because they didn't want to sell before. Well, it could be, of course it's better than what we have with Jonathan, but still. No terror bombing in Abuja since 2015, an improvement on the 7 bombings which occurred between 2012 to 2015. Biafra agitation related. Well, this one, I'm really happy with this one. I'm really happy with the Biafra agitation related something. Not the Nnamdi Kanu, but what I'm really happy with is agreement to pay 80 billion naira in compensation to Biafra for rebuilding of the Biafra, eastern part of Nigeria, and payment of pensions to ex-Biafra police officers who were granted pardons in the year 2000. This is a good one. This is a good movement. Because the Eastern Igbo people, they are thinking that they are being marginalized, and especially it is a good movement to calm down the tension in that area. So we shouldn't say it's a bad thing. I think it's a good one. Social Security, over 100,000 poorest of the poor families receive a conditional cash transfer of 5. Okay, the only problem I have with this Biafra thing, so that it will not be the same thing like the Niger Delta states. Yeah, it's Delta, what they call them. Is it Niger Delta state they call them? That are receiving the 13% every month, and we can't see any result. 13% of our national budget every month, we can't see any result. So that this Biafra thing will not be like that too. So 100,000 people are receiving conditional cash transfer, but they promise us 5 million. I remember they promised us 5 million. Who are the poorest in Nigeria? Instead of 5 million, what is 100,000? That is like a drop in the ocean. We need at least 5 million people to receive that kind of support with the things that are happening in Nigeria now, with the level of poverty in the country. Almost 200,000 youth employed in End Power program to assist with teaching, community service. But what is 200,000 employment? What is 200,000 employment in 3 years? You are kidding me? They promised us that they will be doing 2 million or 5 million employment? I think they said 5 million employment every year. That's what they promised. So from 5 million, you are now having 200,000. That's rubbish. Who are you fooling? I mean, at least they are doing something, don't let me get emotional again myself. But at least, the 200,000 job is nothing. Currently, recruitment is ongoing to employ additional 300,000. Look at what they're talking about. Is that employment, the kind of employment we need? That's why the country is suffering. Okay, next one. 250,000 artisans, traders, and farmers given loans. 250,000. Not bad, of course, but we need at least 5 million to get that kind of loan. Nigerian Army has carried out health care and social support operations for tens of thousands of citizens across Nigeria. Oh, security has not improved in Nigeria. I don't believe that they are doing enough in the area of security in the country. That's why we have all these killings everywhere. Niger Delta. Calm return to Niger Delta region through peace initiatives and dialogue. But it has to be permanent. We've got to find a permanent solution. Because whatever they are doing right now is not, for me, it's not going to last. Calm return to, they are talking about calm, so we can now relax. Calm has returned. Fooling yourself. Calm return to Niger Delta region through peace initiative and dialogue. Budget for amnesty, education, and training increase. Organic cleansing, the organic cleansing, that's a good one. That's a good one. But, we must cleanse our whole country. Now, maybe I should tell you people in confidence one of the reasons I'm doing all this research as well. So that when I come to Nigeria and I begin my own projects, we can compare what I've done in 5 years to what they have done. But they are using government money, and I'm not going to use government money. Approval of community-owned modular refineries, that's a good one too. 35 communities and investors have reached the right to invest stage. 3 communities are shipping facilities for installment. Work on the East-West Road restarted after years of abandonment. Petroleum University open in Delta. Yeah, these are commendable stuff, but we have to see the result on ground. The Niger Delta people have to say, yeah, we are seeing result. Infrastructure, 1.2 trillion spent on infrastructure in 2016. and unprecedented spending, on track to spend this year 1.3 trillion. Okay, 36 increase on budget on roads from 19 billion in 2015 to 73 billion naira. You know, these are still drop in the ocean. Now the problem is, where do they get the money? Where should we get the money? If you know, that's where we have to think about. But at least we must commend them that they are putting much more money into operation. So 270 billion in 2017 and budget over 300 billion for road in 2018. So this is much more higher than, of course, 19 billion that we were having before. So can you imagine, to maintain all Nigerian roads before, it was 19 billion that they were putting before this government came. And after it came, it increased from 19 billion to 270 billion. And now it's going to be 300 billion for the road. And for infrastructure, it was it's now 1.3 trillion, but the other one was just nothing to talk about. So it's not bad, but we need to think of how Nigeria can generate more money so that they'll be able to maintain the infrastructure. Ongoing federal projects in at least 34 states. Major roads being revamped. Lagos, Ibadan. This is a very big headache. I hope the pastors and the churches will not go and spoil it again. But at least there is a solution. Federal government is coming with a solution to the Lagos-Ibadan expressway, progressing to near completion after being troubled for over a decade. So that Lagos-Ibadan, I think people should be happy with that one. Kaduna-Abuja Express revamped. Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway repairs in progress as well. Not bad, but those are nothing. In this country that is 3 times poorer than Nigeria, we only have 3 lists of normal roads that they have done, or maybe, I don't know, 100. But in this country, they are in the thousands that nobody even talks about. They are not even bragging with them. So we need to be doing those kind of things in the thousands. Boni-Bodo Expressway project commenced. East-West Road scheduled for completion after years of abandonment. An additional 25 federal roads in progress across 25. What is that? 25 federal roads. They're supposed to be having 2,000 federal roads under repairs. I think we should be building minimum 2,500 roads constructed and repairs or whatever. Abuja Airport runway redone successfully after 30 years in use. Federal housing, why 30 years in use? Because no order, no system. Federal housing projects launched in 31 states with over 2,000 houses under construction. The first time in decades, 2,000 houses for all of Nigeria, which is 200 million. You should be talking at least 2 million homes, not 2,000. Work on second Niger bridge resumed, improving power supply. By the way, people said the power supply is really improving, but who knows? But only people who are there can tell, but they said they are improving. Power generation improved from 3,000 megawatt at above 7,000 megawatt, an all-time high. So they went from 3,000 to 7,000. That is production only, generation of power. You know, but these 7 they are not on the operate. They are not being supplied. Let's see now distribution. Distribution is only 5. So they are generating 7. They are distributing 5, but the country needs 40,000 is what we need, and they are only doing 7, and they are praising themselves. But we were having 3 before, but we need 40,000 of this. They are only having, and they are only distributing 5,000, and we need 40 or 45. So 4,000 Mambila Plateau project commenced after 40 years of intent. Rail projects, completion and commission of Abuja Kaduna Rail plus 10 new coaches, and Warri Itakwe Rail project reopened after being abandoned for over 30 years. Lagos Ibadan Rail in progress. Abuja Metro Line 99% complete. They want to have metro in Abuja, which is a good thing. So it's going to be completed soon. Ongoing projects to provide 24-hour solar power to 9 universities. Not bad, but why just 9? It should be when all universities should have 24 hours power supply. 37 federal government, federal universities, 9 in 37, Kaduna and Dry Port open. So what I'm saying, I'm just showing you some of the results there, what this government has been able to do. Even though I'm not satisfied personally, but when another one will come and tell us story, talk, we'll be able to use fact and statistics to be able to weigh what those people who are coming, who are saying they want to become president, what they have done or what they can do. We'll be able to have at least on what basis to begin to judge those ones. So business and economy. Nigeria moved up 24 places forward in the World Bank statistic, global ease of doing business ranking, from 169 to 145. No, I don't know if that is a progress, but 24 places on top, maybe not bad. This puts Nigeria among the world's top 10 reformers. Nigeria placed 6th place globally in access to credit for SMEs, small loans. Foreign reserve growth from 28 billion to 40 billion. Yeah, that's a good one. Foreign reserve grew from 28 billion to 40 billion at a time when all prices have that. This one we must give it to them. So they are able to generate money apart from oil. Because this is spectacular because it depreciated from 62 billion to 29 billion from 2009 to 15, despite Nigeria's biggest oil boom. So here, when we were making 3 times more money from oil than now, we were not increasing. We actually decreased from 62 billion to 29. But Obasanjo left us with 62 billion. What was the name? Jonathan left us with 29. He did it, although during his time, the price of oil was 3 times higher than today. He was not adding to 62 billion to make it 100 billion or something, 200 billion. He rather was just using it up. They were just stealing on a crazy scale. You know, all the money that came here, they are unaccounted for. And then the ones that were even gathered before, they were reduced to 29. So that's why we don't want to have any government, any president that will just come and tell us story. And we shouldn't vote because of sentiment. He's a Christian, he's a Christian. That one that did this was a Christian. But this one's now, the oil that was coming in here, the amount of money was 3 times less than now. And they have been able to take it up from 28 or 29 to 40. So they are generating money from other resources that we just talked about, which is a commendable. This is one of their biggest achievements. Investment of 500 million into foreign wealth fund, first time since funding the fund in 2011, and despite the crash in oil price, Nigerians made. So it means the Minister of Finance of somebody is doing something, doing something with his head. Nigeria's trade balance crossed into positive territory after deficit. This boosted the agricultural export. Now, this agricultural export alone, if we have order, law and order there, and put structure, this one alone could generate much more money than oil is giving us. That's why I'm not voting for Buhari. I'm not going to campaign for Buhari because they have not done enough. Over 2 trillion naira from Paris crop reform shared to states to help with massive backlogs of state accounts. Yeah, it's good that they are helping the states, but personally, I would take the governors, I would make them to be accountable. Why are they saying they want to become governors if they are only there to share money? Governors should not be allowed to be sharing money. No money should be given to them. You should be only voted in if you can give us the plan of how you are going to generate money from your state. And whatever you are going to generate from your state is what should sustain your state. You shouldn't, be relying to become governors just so that you just come here to share money from the federal government. That is robbery. That is theft. Salaries owed to federal civil servants since 2011 being paid. Salaries owed defunct Nigeria Airways workers since 2011 approved for payment. 2002 salaries. 52,000 cooks supported the school feeding program in that's employment of those people. 28 schools in the country, in 19 states. Development in industrial clusters. Launch of Enyimba free trade. That's a good one. Free trade in Enyimba, Aba, because Aba is really in need of free trade. Yeah, that's a good one. But we need this free trade in every zone. Independent power supply. So they're okay. It's going to have 24 hours independent supply. Good. Shomolu printing community 24 hours power supply. Abubakar Ribi market 24-hour power supply. Thank God. But this must be more strategic. We want the 24-hour power supply for the whole of Nigeria. They promised us. They promised the whole country 24-hour power, not just to the free zone area. They promised the whole country, but we are still waiting for their promise. So for me, they didn't pass. They are below the pass mark, and that's why I'm not going to support or campaign for them next election. Improving manufacturing climate. Unilever stated that in its 94-year history, the last few years have been its best. Yeah, this is an international corporation that is saying things are improving for international companies to come in. So thank God. In December 2017, CNN reported Nigeria's stock market as among the top 5 best performing globally. This an improvement from being the worst performing in 2014. Nigerian stock market, which crashed to about 9 trillion naira valued in 2014, rebounded to 40 trillion months high, to 40 months high by November 2017. It is now above 13 trillion. So from what? 9 trillion to 13 trillion in value. In 2018, Nigerian budget non-oil revenue is about to surpass oil revenue for the first time since 73. This is a big one. This is a big one. This is a big one. That for the first time since 1970, since we found oil, since we started doing commercial oil, mass production of oil, since oil boom, this is when oil boom started. Since oil boom, the first time we are going to be having non-oil revenue surpassing oil revenue. That is going to be the first time. Budget in 2017 consecutively largest in Nigeria's history. Yeah, we cannot deny that one. Agriculture, data process. Rice revolution, rice import reduced by 70%. Local production now 7 million metric. Not bad, but that's a good move in the right direction. Cost of fertilizer reduced by 50%, but they promised us that we will not import fertilizer again and we'll be producing our own. And rice also, they said we'll be independent. But so that's why I'm not giving them pass mark. Opening of rice mills, all that. As the Olam Ashray in Kaduna, one of the largest on the African continent, opened in 2017. Disbursement of 5 billion to 250,000 small holder farmers in 31 states, covering 286 acres of land. That's all of that are drop in the ocean. Solid minerals, growth in the sector, first positive output ever. For the first time bringing money. Nigeria now rated on Fraser's Index as a mining destination. Ongoing construction of bitumen plant in Ondo. 30 billion solid mineral development fund established. Intervention and settlement of Ajaokuta Legote Tozo plant to recommence 2018. Intervention in Alscon Aluminium Aqua Ibon Tozo plant to restart 2018. Military. Restart of Nigerian military hardware manufacturing, supply contract with Inoson Group to supply part of Air Force and vehicle for military. These are good development, but we have to develop our own industrial complex. Manufacturing of naval vessel by Nigerian Navy, refurbishing of facilities across the nation, degradation of Boko Haram, healthcare. Abuja Cancer Center open with capacity to treat 100 patients. Can you imagine 100 patients? This is supposed to be in every local government. Daily, equipment for this facility were imported and abandoned in the container since 2013. So that's it. We have to give them at least that they are doing something. 24-hour solar power project for selected hospitals. Set up of 390 diabetes clinics nationally. Not bad. My conclusion, it is impossible, get ready to never carry something. It is impossible not to notice the clear result that have been attained by the Buhari administration. However, I personally think this is too little and too insignificant for a whole government. The federal government of Nigeria to say this is their achievement in the past 3 years. That is why I will not be campaigning for their government in the next election. I personally believe that by the grace of God, we will be able to do much more better than this without even being in the government. Once we are on ground, by the grace of God, that I'm talking about Nigerian Transformation Project. My advice to all who listen to me is to take advantage of this statistic and use it as a benchmark. This is our minimum. This is our starting line to pick or to choose to any preferred candidate in the next election. But if we are not going to find anybody that is able to do better, we better vote for Buhari to remain. Benchmark to decide on whom to vote for in the year 2019 election. Anybody you choose to vote for must be able to surpass this modest record by Buhari and his team. If not, it is better to let Buhari continue with his duties. Okay, let's show me the video. Okay, let's go in here. So what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say, and what I'm going to open the line now for us to do the call, to receive calls. I don't know if we still have time. Is it 12 already? Okay. Please, if you want to call, is the usual way. Go to Facebook Messenger, Move Agents, Facebook Messenger. I've spoken for so long, and I would like to hear what are your own thoughts. But no, if I've said anything that offended anybody, I want to apologize. If some of my words have been too harsh, I also want to apologize. If I've been too sentiment and some of you are offended, apologies. But, you know, that's my submission. Let's go. Let's show this video. Go ahead.
Progress has been made within the first 31 months of this administration. However, as was the case with previous administrations, the current government appears to be merely patching the cracks on the wall. This administration anchored its policy outlook on three main thrusts. 1. Security. 2. Job creation through diversification. And 3. Anti-corruption. Yet, all around us are signs of retrogression. As of June 2015, the unemployment rate was 8.2% of our labor force of 74 million people, meaning that about 6 million Nigerians were unemployed in June 2015. By September 2017 last year, despite such efforts as Empower and a range of policies aimed at improving enterprise development and facilitating job creation, the employment rate had risen to 18.8% of labor force of 85.1 million people, indicating that between 2015 and 2017, the number of unemployed Nigerians rose from about 6 million to almost 16 million people. On diversification, despite ongoing efforts, reports indicate that oil continues to significantly dominate Nigeria's export revenue, leading to the shortfall in foreign currency in the first half of this administration. In essence, we have been unable to export much beyond crude, as oil still accounts for over 90% of total exports revenue. Just like crude, our economy is very crude. The ineffectiveness of the anti-corruption world is seen in the loss of crucial corruption cases. For instance, in April 2017, the federal government lost 4 high-profile corruption cases involving Ademola, Madam Patience. 4 high-profile corrupt in 96 hours. These losses are in addition to bizarre developments such as the failure of the government to confirm a substantive chairman for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, despite the fact that the same political party controls the executive and the legislature, not to mention the public showdown, shall I call it street fight, between EFCC and Department of State Services officials, or the opposition of the Director General of the DSS to the confirmation of the acting chairman of the EFCC. Furthermore, nothing indicts the current government greater than its failure in one key performance area that ought to be its strength: security. Despite recent setbacks, we have clouded the gains in the war against Boko Haram, but highly disturbing is the mayhem being continually unleashed by herdsmen on communities in different states across. Benue, Taraba, Plateau, Adamawa, Kaduna, Enugu, Edo, and Ogun states, leaving trails of weeping and wailing. Is Nigeria in another civil war? This government will have to answer. The recent killings in Benue State are akin to the last straw that is set to break the camel's back. Have attacks and the deliberate state only has the failed to stop these killings across the country. It has done so against the backdrop of...
Hello.
Hello, good evening, DSA.
Yes, how are you, Kenny?
I'm fine, and you?
Well. No, you know, I'm sure you have seen everything yourself.
Yeah, I saw everything. I want to commend you. First of all, when I started watching you, I was very angry with you. And I was very angry with you. I'm a very truthful person. I was very angry with you because of the first statement you made, that if anybody will come on the platform and criticize you, they should be blocked. And I look at it and say, well, let's see. I've known you for some time now, and I know you are not a stupid person. You are a very intelligent person. And for you to have been saying that, you must have carried out your research, and you must have come up with something that we are not seeing. So at the end of by the time you submit your research, I relax a little bit. But my concern is this, DSA. To be very sincere, I was on ground in Nigeria, and I'm giving based on facts, not on ESA, and not on a research figure, because most of the research figure you gave tonight, with due respect and apology, most of those research figures, they are not right. And I will, if time permits me, I will give them one after the other. But the most important one, those videos you show, first of all, we in Nigeria, we show emotion to incidents or to things that happen at first, all in the name that you want to be known or be heard that we have spoken. One, on the issue of herdsmen, I grew up in the northern part of Nigeria, and I know Nigeria very well because I participated in politics. What is happening with the Fulani herdsmen, there are some certain questions we need to ask. And the question is, when we are growing up, we know herdsmen to only be with their staff. I am saying, leading their cattle. We never know them to be carrying arms. And these arms these people are carrying. I was on ground recently, and I saw some things in my own fish farm in Kaduna. So I'm not talking from hearsay. These people are carrying sophisticated weapons.
Yeah, but I know exactly what you are saying. That's why I'm saying.
The question we should ask is this, DSC.
Yes.
Who arm these people?
No.
Where do they get the arms from?
No, that is not enough. That is not enough.
Listen to me, DSA. Listen to me, DSA.
Yes.
Listen to me, DSA.
Okay.
I have seen military operation in action. I went to a military school.
Yes.
I have seen military operation in action.
Yeah.
I have witnessed crisis in Kaduna. I born in Kaduna, grew up in Kaduna, and I've seen many crises in Kaduna.
You talk solution. I'm not interested. I'm interested in solution. I'm not interested in speculations. I'm not interested in. I'm not. No, I need your solution. I need your solution. I'm not interested in speculations. I'm not interested in emotions. I'm not interested in just blowing the sound and suspecting everybody. Tell me your constructive solution.
It's not with any individual. The solution is with the federal government.
No, we cannot be criticizing people and say they have solution. You have to come up with solution. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing.
With a solution, and that is why I'm calling. I reserve myself a very long time. If you notice, I don't come out on social media. But on this one, the solution is with the federal government. When we had Operation Python Dance in the southeast, do you hear anything about the Apple group? Are you going to say, if the federal government today stand against herdsmen terrorism in Nigeria, it will stop. The same president president and commander-in-chief, when he promised
Nigerians. Okay, then the question I have for you is, why is it that Jonathan didn't stop it? Was when they were killing 2,000 people during Jonathan's time, was it Buhari that was there?
It was a propaganda for that government. You saw what happened.
So people didn't die during Jonathan's time. It was propaganda, eh?
Which the government was using to security money from the coffer.
Of course, people died also during the Jonathan something. It is all lack of order, lack of law and order in our country. It's not only about these herdsmen, it's everywhere. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The truth of the matter, being on ground is different from hearing. I can say it's different from hearing from afar. You made a statement that, well, this government has failed and you're not going to vote for them or you're not going to campaign for them. I personally also campaign for them. But the truth of the matter is, when you hear that you have solution, I'm telling you today, 100% assurance today, if you go to Nigeria and give your advice to the government today, they will only listen to you, but they will not implement it. And if you don't have the government apparatus, you don't have what backs you to implement those things, you will be frustrated. That is the truth of the matter.
But it doesn't matter who is there. If Jonathan was there, he couldn't resolve it. Other people were there, they couldn't. That's what I'm saying. We need a systemic correction of our system. We need to bring in law and order.
Who is going to enforce it?
That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. So it's not about Buhari or this one. We need a systemic approach. That's why I'm talking about system. Thank you so much, Pastor. The next other caller calling. Thank you. You see, what I'm saying is that, okay, this problem didn't stand now. We need a law and order situation whereby we'll be able to put things in place in the whole country. It's not just about herdsmen. We have more problem than that, and everything. Look at every single problem we have in the country is hinged on lack of law and order. It's all connected to lack of law and order. That's just one thing. But there are other things that we have to put in place, but it has to start with that law and order thing. Because you are saying that the federal government are the ones to resolve it. That is not an answer. If I am criticizing the federal government, then I'm saying, okay, federal government, you too, you are the one to resolve it. But why am I criticizing them? I must come up with a solution that is different from, that will be better than what the federal government is providing right now. Hello?
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Yes, who is this place?
It's a SARS, sir. Good evening, sir.
Our SARS, how are you?
We are fine, no, sir.
Oh, well,
I just want to...
Yes.
Yeah, you want to thank you. You are a good example of a leadership. Because when you started, I was so hard, I was not so comfortable. When you ended, I was comfortable. Only my contribution I want to make is that the issue of herdsmen killing, where but the pastors have no support on what they are saying. So the truth of the matter, you know that the security force is in the hand of the government, especially the hand of the presidencies. That is the law Nigeria is operating.
Yes.
Yes, that is law Nigeria operating. I cannot blame the Senate because they are trying their best.
All right.
I said the president.
Osas.
I said the president.
Now, just a lot of people are saying the same thing you are saying. You are saying the same thing. Kenny is saying the same thing. One James Johnson is saying the same thing here. That who is enforcing law and order in any country? Is it not the government? It is the government. Now, that is why exactly, but you don't know how to make the government work. You don't know how to make law and order work. I know. That's the difference. You know, there is a different approach. You people are just talking. Oh, it is not doing it. Let them go and do it. But I have an approach that is going to make government to do it. Maybe not this government or any government, but I have an approach. I have a solution that will make the government to. That's what you should be asking for. Is apart from talking and shouting. Hello?
Yes. Yeah, I understand this, sir. You know that, let me just tell you, issue of IG, the Inspector General of Police. You know that senator from Bauchi State. He report IG to the Senate. He said that IG collect, I'm sorry to say it, I need to say it, IG collect 10 billion to post commissioner of police each state. This is our allegation in the Senate House. They invite IG of police, he will refuse to appear in the Senate. This period, the president was in treatment with London. When the president came back, IG went to go and see the president. After he saw the president, before he now appeared in the Senate, as he was coming to Senate, he called with lawyer. You understand what I said? After he met the president, he went to go and report the matter. He went to go and report the matter in the courts. When he came to the Senate floor, he answered that the matter is in court. He cannot discuss the matter in the Senate. The Senate now asking, we send message before you went to court. We are the one that send you letter first. He said, don't have any to answer.
I understand you, Osas. We listen, Osas. Now, somebody also is supporting you here. Someone just said here, I have been following DSA and I agree with his teaching, but I don't understand why he's still supporting this government that has obviously failed. No, yeah, but you just heard me that I'm not supporting the government. I'm just saying we shouldn't be like the government too. We shouldn't be, our reaction should be constructive. Our reaction should be constructive and civilized. The fact that I don't agree with the government, that doesn't mean I will come low to just reacting and talking and shouting and doing what Nigerians do. That is what we must correct. We must respond in a civilized manner.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. What we have to look for solution. That's the only thing we have to look for. And for the extent that the president's wife to be start sharing what he is saying in his own post. I heard it in channel news. I heard it in internet. You know that this is beyond
Osas, what you are saying now is called emotion. You are not coming out with concrete, well-researched out answer and solution. You are just vexing your emotions.
Yeah, the solution we have to look for now. The solution we have to look for. Like President Buhari, I love him. I can pay for him because what Jonathan was did, the way the money was missing in Nigeria. I personally can pay for Buhari because I want Nigeria to move forward. But the only issue we have now, the president, our president is so old. Buhari is a straightforward man. Many things decided before Buhari's table. You remember what happened to the second to the federation. You know how much we're moving. Buhari did not know. I have sat with the government. I know how it is to treat a file. And if Buhari cannot treat a file, the only solution we have to look for is for all to sit down. Especially we all to sit down and look for somebody. If someone like you can have a opportunity to be there.
Also, you remember those 2 points that I spoke about? That 2 points that we must not be repeating. 2 mistakes. The mistake number 1, to just talk without bringing constructive solution. Number 2, we shouldn't just be making statements because we are angry and emotion. Emotion doesn't lead to solution though. It is only constructive answer and solution. Thank you so much, Osas. Let's listen to the next one. This very same thing I am saying we should correct is what I'm dealing with. Because everybody is angry with the government, but 2 wrong things cannot make it right. Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, sir. How are you, David?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the presentation for tonight. To be honest with you, in my own opinion, I don't know others. 100% Buhari has failed Nigerians.
Okay.
The number 1 reason is that the issue of corruption and security. That is the 2 things I want to talk about.
Okay.
Number 1, when he's coming, he promised us he wear the cloth of integrity and honest. But when he come up, and for him to pick a cabinet, it's taking 6 months.
Yeah.
And we are all expecting beautiful people to come and do this work. But to be honest with you, He has brought in people. Number one, as I'm talking to you right now, most of his ministers have case with corruptions. They have petition with corruptions. And to be honest with you, as I'm talking to you right now,
David, you know, I like to talk constructive. When you say most of his ministers have cases with corruption, you know it's not true.
Sir, let me tell you, sir.
No, do you know it's not true?
Amechi.
Do you know it's not true?
DSA, I can count their names for you.
Most of his ministers, do you know it's not true?
DSA, see, no. DSA, wait.
Make you they call with fact,
DSA. You know, most of the thing you read that time, those articles and those lines you bring up. Let me tell you, I'm here in Nigeria, no power supply. Ogoniland, there's no cleaning going on, and the people even protested. They showed it day before yesterday on TV. That the government just promised there, nothing is going on. Most of those things, they are just on paper. They are not executed. And most of those,
including the ones from international statistics, right? From international organizations.
At the DSA, these guys have the government money. They can pay the journalists to do anything they want.
Okay, David, this is the kind of talk that has led Nigeria to where it is now. Exactly this kind of talk. Go to our parliament, you will see exactly everybody is talking like you. This is what we must change. We must change ourselves. You know, reformation must start from ourselves. If we ourselves, we are just like them. Talk, no fact. It is constructive facts and empirical evidences that bring decision and that bring solution, not emotions.
The truth is that everybody is afraid in Nigeria right now. Nobody wants to come up and say anything because they will send DSS after you. So people are scared. Let me give you an example, sir. In 2015, 2014, 2015, and 2013, 2014, there's a massive protest in Nigeria. It is a protest that brings this new government in. But I'm talking to you right now, nobody is out there to protest anymore. Understand?
No, you know.
So, yes,
okay.
The truth is that we ourselves...
David, you are talking that there is everybody is in Nigeria is afraid in Nigeria to protest and to speak out, to speak the truth. You know it's not true also. You compare Nigeria to Benin Republic, where you are also having citizenship. You compare Nigeria to Gabon. You compare Nigeria to Ivory Coast or to Cameroon. Or, of course, this, you know, that's why I'm trying to tell you who are following me. Please, learn from me the way I approach things. Talk factually, not emotions only.
DSA, okay, you know, my advice to everybody, I understand, DSA, wait, see, my advice to everybody, we should stand up and do the little we could.
Now that's what you they talk. That one now is more constructive.
No, we should do the little we could in our environment, because I know, okay, for example, now DSA, I can't go to Abuja and change anything.
But but what you said now is the most important thing you just said. Let every one of us, wherever they are, begin to do something. But just venting emotions and talking here, say things that are not really factual is not. We don't develop that way. And the reason I'm taking the time to tell you all these things is because you will be able to also influence other people. By the time I am able to open your eyes to see how to constructively resolve situations and to talk politics, then you'll be able to influence another one. Another person will be also changed. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Let other people call in.
Yes.
No problem. They won't kill man. This very same thing I'm repeating is that they're not hearing me. Because everybody is angry. So the anger goes ahead of the... Hello? Yes, sir.
Because everybody is angry.
You have to remove the...
Hello, DSA.
Yes, I hear you now.
Yes, sir.
Have you removed?
Coming from.
It's like, have you removed the?
London, Ontario, in Canada.
Have you removed the sound? You've got to remove the sound on the background because it's disturbing. Or go to another place where there is no sound.
I'm going to mute it now.
Okay.
I'll mute it on my iPad. I'm actually watching you on my iPad.
Okay, it's good now. It's good now.
I've actually, okay. This is going to be a bit didactic.
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Very well, very well.
Because I might need just a bit above 3 minutes, maybe 4 to 5 minutes.
Yes, please. But it has to be constructive. If it's not constructive, I'm going to cut you short.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Now, whatever is happening in Nigeria with the Fulani herdsmen is a microcosm of the bigger picture. There is something that has been in Nigeria since independence. Our forefathers, the politicians, they knew about this. They call it the Hausa Fulani hegemony. That is the impulse, the impetus of the Hausa and the Fulani people to hold on to power at all cost. Why must they hold on to power at all cost? The reason is very simple.
Hello, who is what's your name? Jones. What's the first name? What's your
Adewale Jones.
Adewale Jones. Adewale Jones. Adewale, you are talking the same talk that I used to talk because I was raised in the western part of Nigeria. You are talking the same talk that every southern Nigerian talks, that the Hausa Fulani will want to hold on to power by all means. It is absolutely incorrect. And for you to know, go and search in the net for my article. I am a tribalist. Help, I'm a tribalist. There is an article like that. Help, I'm a tribalist. I wrote it. Where I put the statistics there, that it is a lie. Whenever anybody tells you that it is Hausa Fulani holding on to power, as a matter of fact, it is Yorubas who have ruled Nigeria more than Hausa Fulani even. So for you to say Hausa Fulani holding on to power in Nigeria, that is the normal street talk. It is the street talk in western and southern Nigeria. It is not true. It's Yorubas have ruled more than them a little bit right now even. Then not even Hausa Fulani. Hausa Fulani people, you know, this is the real Hausa Fulani person that is really ruling right now is Buhari. But you will see that Hausa Fulani people are some of the least people who have ever ruled Nigeria. Go and just check your figures and statistics.
Okay, sir. That means you have to remove that from my allotted time because you spoke for about a minute.
Yes, I will remove it.
What was the point I was making, sir? I told you about microcosm in the bigger picture. And I made mention of Hausa Fulani hegemony, which you seriously disputed. But the point I made, I will make it from a larger picture. While you were talking, I had to go and look at the picture, the map of Ukraine. I look at the countries surrounding Ukraine as you were talking, to see whether Ukraine, where you are right now, is at the same peril that Nigeria presently is in. And I discovered that, yes, Ukraine, with time, might be in the same peril that Nigeria is presently in.
It's worse than the same peril. It's not just the same, it's worse peril. Right?
You know Hagia Sophia, sir?
Yes.
Hagia Sophia was once a Christian cathedral.
Yes.
The Blue Mosque.
Yes.
That they call the Blue Mosque now.
Yes.
During the earlier Islamic invasion of Europe.
Yes.
The Mohammedans, as they used to call them.
Yeah.
It's not that they were powerful enough to overcome Europe. Europe was just surviving a 400 million death from plague.
Yes.
That's when Islam came. So they were weak. They could not stop them. So Islam was just taking over Europe. They stopped when they met the first real opposition. And that was where they stopped. And that is, they've gone as far as Spain. So what was the point I'm making here? Nigeria is a weak country as we speak. we are a very weak country. Surreptitiously, what we are experiencing from these Fulani herdsmen is jihad, surreptitious jihadism. Most of the people that are being killed, somebody is telling me that my time is up, but you spent almost half an hour.
Go ahead. You keep on talking.
And I'm still making my point. I'm still building my point. Most of the people that are being killed, if you look at them in Benue, most of the people that are being killed, especially in Benue, in Jos, these are Christian hotbeds. Real evangelism, real Christianization, winning of souls is going on in Jos, is going on in Benue by devout sacrifice. I'm saying this with all eagerness and with all, because what these people did, I could not do it. People devoted themselves, went on missionary journeys, and winning souls. They sacrificed family and everything, and they are winning souls in Benue and in Jos. Christian activity, not the mesmerized gospel that we have in the southwest.
Make your point. Make your point.
The real Christian activity is going on in this area, and this is where these people are being killed. So this is where we are being attacked. This is jihad in action.
But didn't you hear my response? What you are trying to say? Are you trying to say that we should respond? No, as we should go and fight jihad like the crusade that was done in Europe? I said if you had me my presentation properly, I said it's an ideological warfare. It's an ideological thing that we have to approach it ideologically. That there are two ways to approach it. One, to resolve it through the herdsman thing, like, the colonies and ranches. But the other one that I spoke about was about ideology. An ideological war is fought this a different way, not by shouting like this. And, that is a strategic something.
Yes, sir. I was following your train of thought, sir, carefully. I was following your train of thought carefully.
So that is the way I will advise that. Yes.
Hello, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
When you go to that ideological part, I have the answer for that already.
Okay.
And the answer for that is in history. I know you are a student of history. Islam thrives with ignorance.
Yeah, but you will not give me the answer now. I know the answer myself.
Yes, the answer, sir.
Yes.
Islam thrives.
But you had me now. You are repeating what I've already said, Adewale. I told you that if they know what I know, that no Nigerian will even be a Muslim self. So we are not going to discuss that now.
You want to find out? I've read the Quran, sir. I've read part of the Quran.
I mean, I don't argue now. I just say it's not time. I'm just saying it's not time to discuss it on the call now. Otherwise, other people will not call in.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much.
Just to go.
Yes.
Just to go. I just want to say that defeating that ideology may be good, but it's not going to work. It did not work in Europe. It did not work in North Africa. The first bishop of Alexandria in Egypt, the bishopric of Alexandria in Egypt went to Islam. They faced it with ideological response, but it did not work. The Islam is an antithesis of the gospel. It's an antithesis of Christianity.
It's
an antithesis written to counter the Bible.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Maybe we are going to meet and talk about that later on. I know exactly all those things you are telling me. I know them. So don't just assume that I don't. Believe me, I do. Thank you so much. Now there is one James Johnson that is talking here, displaying his ignorance. So he's trying to say that Gowon is Hausa or Gowon is Fulani. No, sir. Go and study your history very well. Gowon is not Hausa and it's not Fulani. You want to tell me that Tafawa Balewa is Hausa or Fulani? No, sir. Tafawa Balewa is not Hausa and it's not Fulani. Abacha, some people can still argue, but Abacha too is not even Hausa. And then IBB, who put IBB that Hausa? Do you think IBB is Hausa or Fulani? Ignorance. These are just ignorant. These are all kind of ignorance that our people are displaying. This James Johnson, I'm very disappointed that he's displaying this kind of ignorance, talking to me sarcastically. Because I say Yorubas are ruling most of the time. He is writing. So Gowon is a Yoruba, Shagari is a Yoruba, Tafawa Balewa is a Yoruba, Abacha is a Yoruba, IBB is a Yoruba, Abubakar is a Yoruba, Buhari is a Yoruba. You know, because he is not talking facts. He doesn't know his facts, and he just wants to vent emotions here. Hello?
Hello?
Yes? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, yes. Go ahead and talk. Who is this, please?
This is Paul.
Yes, Paul. That's Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul?
Yes.
Okay.
God bless you, sir. My contribution might sound very funny,
yes,
but I pray people will understand my solution to all that is happening in Nigeria. You know, for a very long time, most of us who are Christians would believe that politics is a dirty game.
Yes.
So because we had shied away from politics, so we gave it to unbelievers to make policies, because the word politics comes from the word policy making. That was why people like Nebuchadnezzar needed Daniel, Pharaoh needed Joseph, even Nehemiah was needed at the time of Reformation.
Yes, sir.
The building of the temple or the walls, So I tell people that thank God for these times we live, that now Christians now see that we need to be there, because the three arms of government that are supposed to be upon the shoulders of Christ, we are supposed to be there to make policies that will favor, the grassroots, the base of the pyramid.
Yes.
So I am a man who, my parents are from the East, but I was born in the North. I spent 30 years or more than 30 years of my life in the North.
Yes.
Before the jihad, I knew that the Hausa man is more friendly. If I tell you this, BSA, you might not believe me. If you go to a Hausa man and forget your iPhone or your phone with a Hausa man, if you go back to the Hausa man and say, please, I forgot my phone here, you'll be so surprised. He will give it to you. I say, yes, you left it here. But it was when Islam came through the Sokoto Caliphate, when the jihad started, that they brought in Islam coming through Sokoto, through the north, and it spread like wildfire. That was when the Hausa man, the Islam added to him, he became a different person. But the Hausa man removed, if you eliminate Islam from a Hausa man, he is so friendly, he's so welcoming. But with the Islam in, that's why they refused to accept the Western education for a very long time. That's why if you look at their region, they only have few universities and polytechnics. It's just recently that they began to imbibe it. Even the Boko Haram said, we don't even need education. We don't need the Western education, because the people who went to school, who are graduates, look at what are they doing? They are corrupt. So I think this Western education itself has even brought corruption to us more. Let's even focus on our Islamic teaching, because this corruption is too much for us. Now, as I said earlier, my parents are from the East. I was born in the North, Kaduna precisely, and I did my community service in the West. So I understand the three regions very well. And there was one time I spoke about Nigeria, that Nigeria started with three regions. After the three-year civil war, 12 states were created, and 12 symbolized apostolic. From 12, 7 was added to make it 19 states. Today we have 36 states. 36 divided by the three regions we started with is equal to what? Is equal to 12. Means whether Nigeria likes it or yes, we're in the apostolic move of God. Hello? Are you there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. So I discovered that kola nut is produced in the West. Kola nut is produced in the West. Kola nut is worshipped in the East. If you want to come marry a Igbo girl, you must bring kola, or else you might not even be able to say a word. Then in the North, kola is consumed. I repeat it. Kola nut is produced in the West, worshipped in the East, and consumed in the North. So I was even trying to say, if we are going to make a proposal, our coat of arms needs to be changed somehow. That coat of arms we have, because the eagle there is only skin oil. We have forgotten that when we were in school, we read social studies, we were taught about rubber, cocoa, and cotton in different dimensions. In Enugu, coal was their source of mineral resources. In Ibadan, we were taught all this, but I found out that the eagle now has derailed from this vision, because the eagle is known for vision. The horses is known for strength. But I'm suggesting here, if they write a proposal and try to see how we can put kola nut on the head of the eagle, so that kola nut will bring the three regions again back together, because kola nut needs to be seen in our coat of arms, because that kola is so essential.
Beautiful.
In our move now.
Beautiful.
And just with all due respect, Nigeria is a nation that I so much believe in, and I know
that the enemy is doing everything possible to keep us where we are, because we are in the apostolic and prophetic move of God. On the 1st of October, when Nigeria got independence, by divine alignment, it is the Feast of Trumpet in Israel. It means we are supposed to blow the trumpet. And from what I just shared, that Nigeria, if you divide 36 states with 3 that we started with, is equal to 12. It means that Nigeria is also in the prophetic move of God. So, because when the righteous, the Bible says, when the righteous is on the throne, the people will rejoice. Now, the word righteous means people who have right standing with God. You must not be a Buddhist or a Muslim or a Christian to be able to govern. Don't forget Isaiah 45 that talks about Cyrus. He says, Cyrus does not know me, but I will use him. So he might not be a born-again Christian, he might not be a Muslim, it might not be any religion or any tribe or whatever. Cyrus was a man that when he came, he was making sure that the God's chosen people were going to benefit. It was Cyrus that single-handedly was, that made Israel to go back to where they were and rebuild it again. And Cyrus was not a Jew. He was not an Israelite. He was not a Christian. He was not born again. He was not speaking in tongues. He had no ministry. But he was someone who had a right standing with God. Because we talk about righteousness. People think, oh, you need to be born again. No, the Bible says God is going to pour his spirit upon all flesh. Not upon the church, but upon all flesh. You are going to be surprised. You see Muslims who are going to be doing what even a Christian cannot do, and you'll be amazed. How come this guy has this understanding to arrange things the way he did? In Asia here, they're not Christians. They're Buddhists. But have this, in your HTM, you talk about order. And that is today to Rwanda, despite the whole wars and everything they had. The Kagame came in because he was a visionary. He had technocrats around him, and they were able to build this. Now it's one of the cleanest cities in Africa. What is happening in Nigeria? Why don't we have the understanding to know that despite the 3 regions that Nigeria has, because this 3 regions is, to me personally, if you ask me GSA, let us bring Nigeria the way the US democracy is. Let every region have monopoly of their resources so that it will not come from the center. Let the East have their own police. Because why? Kidnappers, ritualists, all these people that do things in the West or in the East or in the North, if the police people are recruited from that region, it will be easy for those police to identify the culprits behind that. Because if you recruit a Hausa man from the North to come and be a police in the West, he will not know the people who are criminals. They won't know what is happening. If you bring a police people to come from the West to recruit them to the North, they cannot even know the people who are ritualists or the herdsmen or the Fulani people. But if they had the recruit police from the North, they will be able to identify, who are the
but Apostle Paul, but you know that now that is discussing policies, and we are not talking policies now. You've made your point. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Now, I want to, somebody is saying, somebody is writing to me here and say, this Pastor Sunday Adelaja, you are sitting down there, you are not doing anything. You are just talking also. Your own is talk too. Well, it means you have not seen my program for Nigerian Transformation Project, number 1. It's not difficult to go to YouTube and write Nigerian Transformation Project, Sunday Adelaja, and you will see something there that I'm doing already. Number 2, I was going through Facebook today, and I came across this book. It was put there by another lady, by a lady who wrote, my God, oh, anybody who loves Nigeria must read this book. Now I see that most of the people who are commenting and who are saying who are talking like this now, they have not read these books. So they don't even know what perspective I'm coming from. They don't know who I am. And they don't know what I offer to Nigeria. They say I'm not doing anything. But one lady today read this book and said, every Nigerian who says he really loves Nigeria must read this book. It's not my words. This is the word of another woman. It was, I think, Dr. Arams that challenged people to read books. So this lady started reading the books, I think, because Dr. Arams said it. And she picked up this book. And she said she has her attitude and to Nigeria, everything changed. So this is how the Nigerian economy can overcome the American economy. Apart from that, there is another one which I think is even a better book. How to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. You look at my solutions. Then find fault, critique my solutions. Come out with your own solutions and see if my solution is, read it at least to see if they are tenable or they are not tenable. Then, about tribalism, check out this book, read it. If you will not see answer to tribalism or not. It's called The Danger of Monoculturalism. About Nigerian economy, read this book and see if I prefer solution, I don't prefer solution. The Nigerian and the Nigerian economy, the way forward. Now, concerning politics, Nigerian politics, you read this book and tell me if there is solution there or no solution to Nigerian political problem. Nigeria and the leadership question. Profiling solutions to Nigeria's leadership problem. So I am talking real thing. There is another one that's supposed to be only God can save Nigeria, what a myth. And then there is another one here, how to develop a nation through the dignity of labor. This, you know, but let's be hearing people, other people call, just for you people to know that I'm not just a talkative. I'm not just talking. I do my own work. And these books that you are seeing, these are part of my own work. I'm doing my due diligence. So it's not that I'm doing nothing, sitting down here. No.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening, DSC.
Is that
How
Prince?
Are you doing?
As Prince, is that you?
Yeah, this is me, DSC. Good evening, sir.
How are you, sir?
Very well, very well. Thank you very much for this communication today. You tried so much.
Well, I'm under fire. You didn't see the comment now.
Yeah, I saw the comment. What I just want to say here, first, the problem of Nigeria did not actually start from this administration. That's number one. I know they promised a lot of things. They are not getting it right. I quite understand that. Fine. And permit me to say this.
Okay.
Since 1999 date, those people who have ruled Nigeria till today, they have failed.
Now we dey talk.
Yes, there is no two ways about it. We should not just take this administration that helpful and it helps me. Fine. They don't have right to go and kill anybody because of cow. Fine. But there is no administration that
because of
they
cow.
have not paid for blood. They have not paid for soul. Quickly, let me say this again. Somebody kill people because of we take oil from our land. This place is not developed. They go to that place and clear that zone.
Yes.
They are aware of this.
Yes.
In this country, somebody killed Dele Giwa.
Yes.
A good journalist.
Yes.
Somebody killed Kip Sarowewa.
Yes.
A great lawyer from
Ogoniland. Ogoniland.
What is his name?
Ogoniland.
Not Ogoniland, from Yoruba land. Great lawyer from Yoruba land. Somebody killed him. We are aware of it. Now I have said all this thing. Bolagi.
Yes.
Okay, those are prominent people in Nigeria. People killed all these things. Fine, we are aware. Now, my solution is this. It's a bad time, even though we cannot go to Nigeria to go and vote 2019. But it's a bad time we have to lecture our people who are back home to start asking questions. For somebody that will come to you.
Prince, you get brain, oh. You get sense, oh.
No, wait, hold on. I'm coming. It's a bad time we have to, even though we cannot go to and vote, we don't have PVC to go and vote 2019. It's a bad time. Somebody that is coming to you, that is going to House of Assembly, tell your people, don't bring rapper. Even though he bring rapper, collect it, but tell him that 4 years is very short. These are the things we ask you to go and say in the National Assembly, not like Dilo Minaye. No. Ask these people, government, we need, first of all, Nigeria have to build, we need to build an institution.
Yes.
That was the thing, that was where I was disappointed in Buhari. Why? Yes. I will explain this. Because Buhari is a father.
Yes.
Age is not his side. He has gotten everything he wants. Then why are you so scared? Build an institution that works the way we enjoy Western. When somebody is wrong, then take him to court, persecute him, you pay for your price.
Law and order.
If law and order, that is what we need. If we have law and order, Fulani Herdsmen will not go and
Of
see.
course now.
That's number one. Again, There's somebody you are trying to elect, even in your local government, ask questions. What do you have for us? In the state government, ask questions. What did you have for us? Then these are the things we want. Then if you cannot do this thing, then we go to you, we protest. And again, that's why I support the issue of restructuring. In the sense, like the last caller, I borrowed that word from the last caller, that we still need to restructure. And we need to change our Nigeria constitution, because the army gave it to us. It's not working. If we're a federal, we need to run as a federal. There's a lot of things we need to change in that constitution. DSC. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
There's I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, you've made your point. You've made your point.
Okay, so we need. That is the thing I wanted.
So that other people can call it.
Not for him to go and become the oil minister.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, somebody is asking, where can they get the books from? The books are on Amazon, number one. Number two, if you are based in Nigeria, look for Chioma. The telephone is there also on this comment, Chioma. But then, if you want to buy many, and maybe the Amazon something is too expensive for you, write to my office. Write to DSS books, one word, DSS books at gmail.com. DSS books at gmail.com. Hello?
Hello, DSS.
Yes, sir. Is that Akin?
This is Akin from Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for the wonderful presentation today and the lecture. I mean, I won't go into the problems of Nigeria. That's all we do. We talk about problems,
yes,
argue about problems, and we are not going anywhere with it.
You see what that's now you are getting my point. Yes, talk.
So we need people to wake up, develop ourselves. The youth in Nigeria, all they do is post all the bad things about Nigeria.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Emotion.
All sorts of rubbish. Individual development is lacking.
Yes.
Basic things we are not developing ourselves. The internet is there. We use the data to do rubbish. Instead of studying, learn, and do so many things. Now we are talking of herdsmen. Are you hearing me, sir? Hello? Okay. Yes, we are talking of herdsmen. All over the world, we know ranching is better than carrying your cows all over the place. Why can't people get knowledge, study about this thing, start ranches, and start raising their own cow there? When people see that you have quality breeds, they will neglect all these herdsmen and come and buy from you. With time, they will have no business bringing their cow all around. They will learn to ranch by force. So Nigerians should learn. The books you have released are all about Nigeria. They are all over the place. Let us read, let us study, go into politics. In fact, the day I read a chapter about your book on Nigeria, the leadership crisis. That day I said, man, what am I doing not considering politics? Let me go and show them the real leadership. Because as it is today, what we have in Nigeria is that we have bad people all presenting themselves for election. And it's because of all these bad people that we end up picking one. Until we prepare ourselves as Christians, bring out quality people to stand elections. That's how we get good leaders into the Senate. It doesn't have to be presidency. Local government chairmen, councillors, House of Rep, and everywhere. Let people prepare themselves, get the right mindset, get the right information.
Beautiful talk.
And prepare and go for elections. That is how we take Nigeria forward.
Beautiful, sir.
The problems.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful. Very constructive. I appreciate
So
your
that is
work.
it. That is my submission, sir.
Thank you, sir. Very
Thank
beautiful.
you very much.
Very beautiful. Very good. Good idea. Constructive. Develop capital. People. Human capital, and we have to develop it. Ourselves. But Nigerians are used to those two pitfalls that I mentioned: emotions and just talk. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We are hearing you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Who is calling from where, sir?
My name is Tokes. I'm calling from London.
Yes, sir.
And thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm really enjoying the show today. Now, when I joined, I heard you mention solution.
Yes, sir.
And there's just something I want to share with you, because everybody is talking about this Nigeria situation from a religious and emotional point of view.
Yes, sir.
But one thing that we need to understand, that this herdsman issue is not unique to Nigeria alone.
No.
As I'm speaking to you currently, they're having the same problem in Ghana.
In Cameroon.
They're having the same problem in Togo.
Cameroon.
They're having the same problem across all that whole region.
Yes.
So the whole issue about the herdsmen, it is a bigger problem for the whole sub-Sahara region. Now, the question that we need to start asking ourselves now is that what is making the herdsmen come further south than ever before? There must be a bigger problem that's making them come further south, more in and they're causing so-called destruction. There's a gentleman by the name of Chief Newton Gibono. And DSA, if you do not know about him, I will say, please, Google his name.
Newton?
Chief Newton Gibono.
Okay.
Now, Chief Newton Gibono was a... I'll just give you a very quick... I'm going to give you a solution, but before I do that, it's very imperative that all Nigerians understand who this man is.
Okay.
He was a student in London in the 60s that took his car after graduating in London. He drove from London with his car all the way back to Nigeria through the Sahara Desert.
Okay.
Now, recently, working with United Nations and other bodies, they highlighted to the West African region about the problem of desert encroachment. It is a major problem. So what you're seeing happening now is that in those regions in the north, the desert is moving closer and closer to us.
Yes.
So because of that, we don't have arid land, there's water shortage, and it's creating a very big problem.
Yes.
And even if you go on the BBC, they did an analysis of it.
Global warming.
United Nations, all the data are there available for people to see.
Global warming.
It's beyond Christianity and Islam, because if we do not deal with this issue, it's going to get a lot worse.
Beautiful.
If we think it is bad now, it's going to get worse.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful idea.
So my thing is that you said solution, and I'll give a very simple solution that anybody that cares about Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, any country, we can all contribute to resolving the solution.
Okay.
One of the main, even United Nations reported that to stop desert encroachment, we need to go to the north of all these countries. But let us start with Nigeria. We need to go to the north and start planting trees.
I have a partner, a friend of mine, I don't know if you know him, Dr. Aarons, that we are planning to plant 1 billion trees in Nigeria.
Fantastic, sir. That's a fantastic idea.
And
but there is more that's needed.
Yes.
Because we need to stop that movement of the desert that is coming inland. Chief Newton Gibono reported in his book, and he's got a book called My Desert and I. He reported that there were some villages in the 60s that when he was driving back into all this Mali, through Togo, Niger, Nigeria, he said all those villages do not exist anymore. They've all been covered up with sand. There's rivers, waterways that's completely been blocked by the desert. So that is what's forcing all these people to come further south.
Beautiful stuff. You know,
and it's creating that problem. My solution is this. My solution is this.
Okay.
Obviously, people already know you and they know your platform and they know what you are doing. Me personally, I am ready to donate.
Donate
if
what?
Anybody that believes that they care for Nigeria, let's donate to that fund that you guys are doing, even if it's £1.
Donate money,
or we can even donate seedlings for trees.
Don't worry.
We need to donate.
Don't worry. By the grace of God,
more trees in that region that stops the desert encroachment.
What's your name, my brother?
My name is Talks.
Talks, but don't worry. By the grace of God, I'm well positioned to come out. It's going to cost about $2 billion. We are going to come up with it by the grace of God. When we are working on it.
And I am willing to donate. I am willing to donate to that.
No,
because I don't see. Okay. It does not solve the geopolitical situation. At least it stops that desert encroachment, because
yeah, you are doing
the closer the desert comes, means that there's lesser land in a situation where we're having a population boom. We are putting 200 million.
Yeah, bro, you've made your point, and one of the most constructive contributions that I've had tonight. Beautiful stuff. These are the kind of things I'm talking about. Not emotions, not just venting emotions or anything, but beautiful, constructive, contribution, working mind. Thank you, Talks. Beautiful idea, wonderful stuff. But we're already working on it. It's going to cost $2 billion, $2 to $3 billion, and we are going to do it. But I don't want to be talking about these things now, because people will say, so why are you not doing it now? They will say, so why are you sitting down there? You are not doing it. They will not hear what I've explained. They will not hear that, everything. But anyway, so that's why I would rather not talk about. I will just come and do what I need to do. Hello? Yes. Yes, good evening.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody.
Is that Yomi?
Yeah, this is Yomi calling from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for today's message. Honestly, I've been waiting for you to respond to this, to talk on this. But what I want to contribute is, if truly we are one Nigerian, or we are one Nigeria, then we should stop the killing and we should start showing love. Because we say one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria, but people are not seeing us as one. Some tribes are killing other tribes, these things are happening. If truly we profess one Nigeria, then let's start showing love. Let's put sentiment apart. Let's put tribalism aside. Some of us are privileged to have education. And what is education? Education is information given to you, or the information you research by yourself. But that does not mean somebody is smart or wise when you have information given to you. You are only wise when you apply those information that you discover, or the information that were taught to you. Some of us have been misinformed. Some of us have the wrong education. Because this Hausa Fulani herdsmen that we are talking about, most of them don't have the privileges we have. Nevertheless, that is not to say that they should be killing people. And by the way, the Hausa Fulani that I used to see back then, I served in Taraba State, they hold sticks, not guns. So the question is, why would they be holding guns? Some people will say, to defend their cattle or to defend themselves against attack. We should not be. If truly we are living together as one Nigeria, there should not be anything bad in seeing Hausa as Fulani as my brother, or seeing Igbos and Yoruba as my brother.
Yomi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, since you are a disciple, let me help you with your thinking, with your thinking process. Because whenever you talk, don't just talk emotions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are just talking now and said that we are one Nigerian. So why are we not living like one another? Okay, who is that addressed to? Who is going to respond to that?
I'm just saying this, sir.
No. Wait. You listen. You try to listen to what I'm getting to. Now, you now mention that these Hausa Fulani people, nobody has the right to kill another Nigerian. You are just saying it. That's exactly what is called emotion. You say you are just saying it. I just say, you don't just say things like that. First of all, ask yourself the question. This thing that I feel like saying, I don't feel this thing like that saying. Well, who will act on it? Is the person listening to me now? What can I say so that somebody could act right now? So those,
I'm still going, sir.
But you don't need to vent. No, you don't need to vent. That is called venting. And also, that is called emotion. You must be able to separate emotions from talk. I mean, don't talk emotion. That's what our people are doing. That's exactly what I want to correct with Nigeria. We are talking out our emotions. Don't. And the way for you to know the difference is, This thing I'm saying right now, what are the action points of it? Who is acting on it? What can they do? What am I telling people to do to concretely? Like the last caller, don't vent out emotion. That is calling. That is that is what we are talking about. Sentiments. Sentiments don't resolve things. It only aggravates matters. When you are saying, for example, wait. When you are saying, for example, nobody has the right to kill another Nigerian. If that way, I am listening to you. I thank God I can cope with it. But people who cannot cope with it, people say, yes, but what right do they have to kill other Nigerians? It's aggravating their anger. Yes, but who gave them the right to kill? That's the response you will be getting. So you are actually aggravating evil against evil without knowing. So solution.
Okay, Pastor, I have the solutions written down. Okay, I just said that in my head. So, well, I didn't mean it to be negative, but these are the solutions that I wrote down. That we have been talking and talking and talking. So these are the solutions. Election is coming 2019. If any leader is coming to us who we know they are incompetent, we have the right not to vote for them. If they are bringing their money or trying to bribe us to get their ways into offices, and we know these people are not right for offices, we should not vote for them. That's number one. Yes. Number two, power must be decentralized. If truly we are practicing federalism, then states should have the autonomous power to make decisions, to have their own state police, to make things work out for their own people. Like, okay, if Lagos State has water and they can generate electricity from water, let them do it.
Okay, wait, Yomi. You know, I'm just saying this. You know, there was another person who spoke before and said states should have their own police, and I didn't say anything. But the reason why I decided to say it right now is because it's becoming a general idea. You see, when of course there is no way that idea of every state having its own police, there is no way it's going to work. You want another civil war? So when those people who took decision that Nigeria should be mixed, they should, like, just like you do during copper, during youth service, everybody should be mixed together. It is because they have paid the price of blood. They know what it means when okay, for example, you know what led to civil war in Nigeria? It is because the Igbo governor, Ojukwu, was sent because they talk like that, exactly what you are saying, that he's from there, he's an Igbo man, he will be able to know his own people better, and he will be able to, manage the place better. But that is because he was there. That is why he had the authority to say, okay, all Igbo people come back home. If you say now that wait. If you say now that all Yoruba, all Yoruba states should have their own military or should have their own police, you are setting the ground for rebellion. No. So somebody, you have not landed. That's why I'm not correcting just you. I'm making a point for all the people thinking like that. That's why I referred you to the person who spoke about it earlier on. That there is someone who has mentioned, because it's becoming popular now, there is a reason why people don't do local police, because it's going to lead to rebellion and civil war again. That is not the way it's done. So that is why, that is not acceptable in Nigeria. But, you could continue with your point. Yes. Go ahead.
Let me add the contribution that I'm about to say before you come in. I was saying that each region or each state should have their own state police, but that's exactly what I wanted to say before you take it out of my mouth. That Nigeria is not matured yet for state policing. Why? Because we will use that as a force against ourselves. We begin to use our own police force to fight ourselves. That's exactly where I'm going. That if we want to have state policing, yes, we can, but we have not matured to that point to have state policing. So the next solution to Nigerian problem is for us to sit down and check our constitution very well. If there are things that should not be there, we should delete them and put new things and seek opinions from people and restructure our constitution. And the last solution to Nigerian problem is for us to show love more than we show religion or we show sentiment or tribes. Just like America, how many millions of tribes are in America?
but everybody coexists in mutual understanding and mutual respect, even though they are not perfect, but they are still living together. So if we can do that in Nigeria too, Nigeria will be great. If I see Igbo as my brother, I serve in Takum, Taraba State. Those guys are loving people, but I've seen the opposite side too. Opposite side, that they slaughter people. This is not, it's not theory, it's practical. They kill kids, they slaughter, they kill, but they are loving. They are very loving people. But the other side is, I don't know why they do those things to kill people, but I stopped there for 1 year and I'm able to come back home safe. So if we can see ourselves as one, if I don't want to harm Hausa, if I can harm Igbo and they can harm me, I should be fine. Marriage is part of the things that will help us. Let's intermarry. I marry Hausa, you marry Igbo, you marry Yoruba. Let's come together and see ourselves as one. That is the only best solution that will help Nigeria to move forward. I submit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much. You see, I'm sure there are so many people who want to call, but our time is over today. I will have to I will be continuing tomorrow, but on another topic. But thank you so very much.